in it.
Bred in it. I was born in it. Molded by it. Molded by it.
Oh, I don't know why. I just like doing his voice. It's fun.
And it's not a hard impression to do.
Yeah.
No.
Ethan does a good Bane though.
Sometimes.
Do you really?
If I have a cup.
Because he sounds really polite. Because Bane was a really polite like villain.
Oh, how are you today? He's just British.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, it's me, Bane. Oh.
Just a spoonful of sugar.
Oh my God. Honestly, that sounds more like Stewie than anything else.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
That's actually not bad.
It doesn't sound the same though. Oh, sorry. Am I doing it?
Because I'm just like, no. Yeah.
You just
Are
ruined
we
the
recording
podcast,
now?
Mom.
Yeah.
Just ruin everything.
Hey guys, it's me, Anthony Frazier from Movie Man Productions.
That whole thing with an intro. Oh my God.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. And as you can tell, I got my boys with me today. We got a nice little podcast for you.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh.
So this podcast is going to be a little different. We're going to go through some stuff that happened this week. And then after that, we're just going to cut on to an interview. Separate section me and Josh did, kind of discussing about the end of Dragon Ball and, what's going to happen next in the last episode in present. So make sure to stick around for that. But right now, we got some really juicy stuff to get into. First of all, today is Batman's birthday.
As a huge comic book fan, I'm very thrilled.
So
How old is he turning?
79.
79.
Yeah.
Old man.
So
Bob Kane and
Bill Finger.
And Bill Finger.
Well, I'm not going to say mainly Bill Finger.
But definitely mainly Bill Finger.
Well, because okay, yeah.
Well,
Because Bob Kane, he had that little weird looking red.
Right. A
blonde.
very vibrant, like, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like, about, like, the problems with Bob Kane, right?
Yeah. Well, and I know in Batman versus Superman, I think that's when they finally gave Bill
That was
Finger,
the first time they gave Bill Finger credit.
Which that's not the best movie to give him credit to.
No, yeah, not a great.
Yeah.
But apparently, from what I've heard from just other different sources and stuff, is Bob Kane would pay off people to stay quiet about the information they made about Batman and all the different comics, and if they contributed, like the guys who created like the Riddler and Two-Face and Mr. Freeze and all these famous Batman villains, he would pay them to keep quiet, so he would take the credit for pretty much everything. Whereas Bill Finger took his original concept for Batman and made it into Bob Kane's original concept for Batman and transformed it into the Batman we know today. So he pretty much, and it was almost a complete overhaul.
Oh, yeah.
Like the original quote-unquote Batman that Bob Kane invented was not even close to what we had today.
Yeah. And they end up using that design for Robin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And also that same Bob Kane design was used in an episode of like The Brave and the Bold, I think. Or it was The Brave and the Bold or the animated series, one of them.
It's like Batman, he's from another universe. I'm going to say like 99 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like 2099. I don't know. It's like he's like got red and purple, and it's like he's really kind of vibrant and colorful.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yeah. So happy birthday, Batman.
Yeah. So in honor of Batman's birthday, what's your favorite villain?
My favorite villain?
in the Batman
That's a good question.
universe.
I'll let you guys go first. I gotta think.
Damn. Okay.
I don't know.
See, mine's a tie between two of them. One
I
is
know mine.
One is Hush.
Ooh, good one.
And
Good
the
pull.
other one is Mr. Freeze.
Okay.
I say Mr. Freeze because if you've seen Sub-Zero,
Oh yeah.
that was it. Like that was the point to where I was like, he is not a lame villain anymore.
See,
because they gave him so much depth. To
The
his
thing
character.
about Mr. Freeze is that he's almost not a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like his whole purpose is he just wants to save his wife.
Yeah.
And everyone gets in the way of that. And the reason why he's a quote unquote villain is because he goes to any lengths possible to help forward his research to help Nora Freeze, his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And so Victor Freeze just goes to all these incredible lengths that go into criminal activity. And it even in actually some of the video games, the Batman Arkham video games,
Yeah.
like they kind of go over this for a little bit where Batman helps Mr. Freeze and, you know.
Yeah, that happens
and,
in Arkham City.
yeah. And in Arkham Knight as well, I think.
Oh, okay.
There's a
Yeah.
thing in there. But,
Sorry,
no,
did you
my
guys
bad.
play that game?
Arkham Origins, my bad.
Oh, okay.
But it was kind of crazy because Batman and Mr. Freeze have like a mutual understanding about, which is just kind of a really interesting concept for a villain.
Yeah, and even in I saw kids running through.
Okay, because I was like,
Yeah.
what were you guys looking at?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've been playing the Telltale Batman.
It's so good.
Yeah, I'm on season 2 right now.
Oh, see, I don't have a way to play it, but I've been watching
Play it
them
on your phone.
Yeah.
Can you really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sell it on iOS.
And they even have this cool
nice.
feature to where it's like, oh, we should do that one day on the channel. But it's called Party Play or something like that.
Yeah.
So, you have your prompts. He's like, okay, so what am I going to say here? Even if you have the phone, you can do that, the PlayStation or something up. And then we can all vote on what decision make. And it's actually really cool.
So it's kind of like that one game, You Don't Know Jack or whatever. Is it like that?
What's that?
It's kind of like they put up a prompt and then you just try to figure something out. I mean, it's not this exactly the same, but similar.
Okay,
to it.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this new season of the Telltale Batman game.
Right on.
Because it puts so much depth into just being Batman, man. It's so crazy. Like, I've never felt more like Batman in a game than this. Then also Joker, he is totally different.
See,
totally different.
I think that, who was the Hush?
Hush,
right?
my other one, yeah. He's a character that I feel is really just underutilized. And he can just do so freaking much. This is going to sound really stupid, but like... I have a reserved Batman script for whenever, like, I want to turn it into a comic later on in life. So I have this script, and I'm really, like, trying to utilize Hush because he's such a good character.
Nice.
So how did you come across Hush? Was it the first time in Arkham City, or
No, it was my uncle. He let me borrow that one,
the graphic novel of Hush?
The Jim Lee run with him. Yeah.
How long has he been in the actual like comics? Because I've never heard of that character actually.
He's
pretty new?
he's been around for a little while, but not. I mean, he wasn't like in the OG Batman comics.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like early 2000s.
Right.
Okay.
His
Cool.
name. He's a doctor. His name is Dr. Thomas Elliott, and he is
Plastic surgeon.
he's a plastic surgeon. Thank you. I couldn't remember it, but he was actually the childhood best friend of Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay.
And he becomes jealous because, Bruce Wayne has all this money and Bruce Wayne's like famous and he's like a playboy millionaire, whatever, And Thomas Elliott, actually, he murdered his parents.
Yeah.
And in an effort to try to become more like Bruce Wayne almost.
Oh, really?
And he's got like this weird kind of psychopathic obsession with Bruce Wayne. And so he actually, through his incredible knowledge of plastic surgery, assembles different parts of people's faces to recreate a perfect match of Bruce Wayne's face. And then he surgically puts that on himself.
That sounds like
it's awesome.
what is his name?
It's pretty brilliant.
I don't know if I can't spoil it. Well, you're probably not gonna read it though.
No.
Okay, because there's this one part. Spoilers, if you guys are interested in reading this. There's this one issue where they're all like, "Hey, did you know?" Because at this time, I think Jason Todd had died. Which was the second or third Robin.
Second Robin.
Second Robin. My favorite Robin, actually.
Same.
So, yeah, he had died, and then, I forgot how it happened, but Batman got word that, they're seeing him alive. And so, yeah, so he, like, rises. So, they had this really cool scene where they're, like, fighting in, like, a graveyard and all that. And then, coming to find out, I think the whole thing is, like, he was trying to say that he was Hush, but then they found out that Clayface actually molded himself into, being Jason. But, yeah, that was such a good run, though, man.
Incredible run.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite villain?
I think,
Ethan?
if anything, because I don't really read the comics, but I played the games.
Oh yeah.
And Arkham City was one of my favorite Batman games of all time.
That's a freaking amazing
right?
game.
But Scarecrow, I always liked.
Scarecrow's a good
Like
villain.
that creeped me out. Like
Yeah.
even playing it, like I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. So if anything, I would have to say Scarecrow. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a great one. Because didn't they use him in Arkham Knight?
Yeah,
he's the main
Jonathan
villain.
Crane.
Yeah.
I didn't like him in the Christopher Nolan movies though.
Well, because
Yeah.
How
they
they
didn't
played
do
him
him
in that one.
justice.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
Well, because like he's actually, if you played Arkham Knight, that's actually more realistic.
Oh really? I haven't
Yeah,
played that one
because
yet.
the fear toxin is just so insane, and it's almost, it kind of borders on a mind control because you can kind of get them to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Through that, and
Okay.
it's very fascinating. It's like it's a whole nother level of stuff. He's
Yeah.
he's not physically imposing. He's kind of like a tall but scrawny dude.
Yeah. Well, he's always been like that.
Right.
Even like the guy that played
But
him
what
from
he
Red Eye,
what he
so.
lacks physically, he makes up with a lot of intellect and
Right.
knowledge of chemistry and all this stuff that he uses to his advantage, and it's like
Oh yeah.
it's insane.
And did you have a favorite villain, or were you just gonna go Dark Fate? Was it Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze?
Mr. Freeze.
I don't know why I get
Doctor
that mixed up.
Strange. There was Doctor Strange and then Mr. Freeze.
Dr. Victor Freeze is
Dr.
his,
Strange,
whatever. I know it's really cliche,
Joker.
but mine has to be the Joker, and not just because like, oh, it's Batman's villain, Skeletor. No, but it's like there's a really kind of insane, like they're Batman and Joker are obsessed with each other. And it's like a really, if you really dive deep into the comics and to the psyche of both of those people, they need each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know that's like played up a lot. Sorry, I just hit the mic really bad. And they're both fully aware of it. it's and actually the Christopher Nolan, they touched on this for a little bit. You know, the Joker says like, I won't kill you, or like you won't kill me because of your like moral code or whatever. But even though you easily could and you want to, and I won't kill you because I like doing this too much, which is like actually insane. And like at the same time though, he's like a genius. There's a weird fine line between that. And I find that also in another one of my favorite villains, which is the Riddler.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you, if you play season 2 of the Telltale, man, they played him amazing.
I watched the whole thing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's amazing. I know all about it. It's fantastic. But the Riddler also, he was a little crazier in the Telltale than he usually is.
Yeah.
Like as his psyche is just kind of more fractured, but such a brilliant man who, with that obsessive compulsive need to give clues to things, that's very fascinating to me.
Yeah, the thing I always liked about Batman is that everyone is crazy,
Right.
even Batman himself. Like,
No, it's
because Gotham is just a big old madhouse.
Right.
And it's just like, it's pretty much, it's just, you are crazy, but it's just, it depends on how you handle that crazy. So that's kind of how, I guess, that's how Batman, because even like the Dark Knight Returns, he even touches that a little bit. Because I guess at that point, because he wasn't Batman for a while, and he's losing it, and he's wanting it back. He's like, I just need you back in my life. Come towards me. You see that bat fly through the window, and then the next panel you see like Batman like jumping that little silhouette deal. But that's why Batman, like, he's just seriously he's like my favorite fictional character, because he's just got like such a fascinating world.
Right. Well, and there's so much that people don't know. Batman, much like the villains that he faces, has this obsessive compulsive need to put himself through all this, to make himself like the best physical specimen that he possibly can, and like mentally sharp and all that stuff. But at the same time, and it's mentioned in the comics and the cartoons and the movies and whatever, that because he is being Batman all the time, brings out all these crazy villains that face him.
Yeah.
Right.
But his goal is to stop them, but he creates them and they try to stop him. But he could, like, it's a huge paradoxical movement of things.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all about mental stability, and it's very, very deep. And I think that's why Batman, his universe is probably one of my favorites. It's so rich and full of character, and there's a lot happening. And honestly, I don't care what anybody says, the Gotham TV show is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I really like that show. And especially what they're doing with Riddler is brilliant.
I haven't got.
And the different stuff they're doing with the Joker, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah. See, I was watching it for a
First season was rough though.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, that's what I
I
was
will
gonna
say that. First season was rough. Second season at the beginning was okay. It really picked up really well in the latter half of the second season. And this most recent season is very. I haven't watched the newest episode, but I've been hammering it. It's so great.
Okay. Kind of back to like the whole Batman Arkham City. So, Ethan, you remember the ending of the whole Arkham City where he, I guess spoilers, but the game's been out for a while, which that was literally one of the best endings I've ever played to a game.
Where the Joker?
Yeah, and you had the sword and you were like cutting up Clayface and all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then at the end,
what a plot twist.
I know. Because in the game, the Joker, he's been sick the whole time. And spoilers, he dies at the end. And that's when you see Batman. That's when you see him that he's like not himself, because he lost a big part of himself.
Well, he walks out. There's that part at that cut scene at the very end of the movie where he's movie. It's basically
felt like a
We
movie.
get you. Yeah.
At the very end of the game, you know, the Joker tried to get the serum, and there was this huge plot twist where, like Anthony was saying, he was sick, and for whatever reason, he appeared to be really like he had the antidote and he was doing better, and nobody knew how, but it ended up being Clayface just looking like the Joker.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the end, there's a great cutscene where Batman is walking out with the Joker's body in his arms. And like he comes out of the front doors, and there's all these police, and Commissioner Gordon is there, Jim Gordon. He's like, Batman, what happened? Like, Batman, like, tell me what happened. Like, what happened? You know, because Batman doesn't kill, and for him to come out with the Joker's body is kind of crazy.
Yeah, he just put it on top of a cop car.
Right, he put it on a cop car, and then he just walked away without saying anything.
But the thing was, it was so crazy because like he looked so defeated.
Right.
At that scene, because he just walked away, and he just looked like a zombie walking away, and then it just ended
right. And I going back to what we said earlier, like they all feed off of each other, they need each other, and there's not anything like that in any other superhero universe. Yeah. Even I know Batman is DC, and there's like Flash and Superman and Wonder Woman and all that, but specifically for the Batman world, no other superhero has anything like that.
No, not at all.
Which is just so interesting.
And some try to mimic it, but like it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
like Batman
no, it's not the same.
And I will literally go and say this: I think that Batman may be the best superhero, ever made.
Yeah.
And he definitely has all that clout with him.
Yeah.
Because essentially he's not a superhero if you think about it. Like all these other superheroes, they have their specific things. Even like Wonder Woman with her brackets or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I mean, there are still she's a goddess essentially, and then you have all those. But he's just like he's a dude that like. Yeah, I always think of the guy. I don't know if you guys ever saw this, but there was a guy that would go out to parades, and he would protect with like a bunch of other people. It was like kind of like how Kick-Ass is,
right?
Or Kick-Ass. Yeah. That whole movie is superheroes
in a realistic sense.
in a realistic sense. Yeah. And that's how I've always looked at Batman in that way.
Well, the crazy thing is like if you really, really thought about it, if you had
really good, Ethan. Sorry.
If you had someone who was that stupidly wealthy with endless means, like Batman has, and all the resources and stuff, there is a chance that someone doing those kinds of things could be possible.
Yeah.
I know it's it's a far stretch.
Yeah.
But if you had trillions of dollars and you had all the money and you were like 6'2" and like you built yourself.
And you're the thing about Batman is that he's super freaking smart.
Like, he's brilliant.
But do you think that's because of his family?
No, I think that's because he's crazy. Because he's
I mean, not only does he run like this, Wayne Enterprises, which is like a huge like medical tech, basically everything conglomerate. Obviously he's like damn near genius level intellect.
Oh yeah, because if Elon Musk, if he was because he could technically be Batman.
No, I mean,
but
honestly,
I don't think he's I don't think he can fight. He might could fight.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you're rich,
it would be like if he
Tesla.
he's got like Tesla boxing gloves.
Oh no, it's like Transformers, but like he has like just all these Tesla cars all around him. Yeah, essentially.
Oh my god.
Or what?
Starscream. Oh my god. Lord Megatron. I forgot.
Megatron.
I forgot about.
I brought the Allspark.
Oh my gosh!
I could have been like an '80s like villain. I feel like.
Yeah.
Can we? If there was a way to go back in time where we could just revoice.
Well, actually, we could try it.
Oh, like
if we got like
just mute out
the
Oh no! We could even dub one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like Ethan.
Yeah, right.
Let's keep him on the team.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Figure something out.
Okay.
That would be really really tight, actually.
Oh man,
that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I know.
How do we not think of that?
I know. We've been brainstorming for like an hour.
Genius.
Yeah, I've got a lot of time.
Let's give this guy a raise, man. No one's getting paid.
Yeah,
I was about to say. Yeah, I was like, all of us were like,
By the way, we
reality.
have a Patreon.
No, yeah, for real.
Man, all this talk of Batman makes me want to go back and keep writing, man.
Yeah.
Whenever you make your movie, can I be Batman?
Ooh. Well,
even though I'm 5'5" and black,
it's like I have like Bruce Wayne casted, and then you put on the bat suit, and he looks like completely different. It's just you in the bat suit, but Bruce Wayne's someone else though.
Right, right. The guy you can play Bruce Wayne is like 6'4", beautiful, like male model guy.
Oh, man.
Batman is like, yeah, like lands and he's like this
Batman.
Honestly, it'd be like whatever.
You did like a Ginyu Force thing, like right there.
There would be like a scene where like you pan up to some moonlight and you see like the like coming down, right? And then but it lands and it's just like my little black ass like
you just like fall to like.
What do you need, Commissioner Gordon? Like who's gonna?
Commissioner, you fall on your head, you just get up. Oh.
Sorry, I'm still getting used to the grapple. Everything's like too big because the costume doesn't fit.
I think I might make it into like a comic though, because I mean, man, there's a lot of stuff that'd be kind of like weird looking on like on the big screen, especially you being Batman.
That would be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So our boy Ethan over here, he recently got the new Far. Oh, you look scared.
I didn't know where we were going.
Like, what?
No, because we never really discussed about that. But yeah, okay.
Well, Ethan, I understand that you haven't played like a lot of it yet.
No.
But what are your impressions so far? The new Far Cry.
I really like it. It's very interesting. It's not like how Far Cry 4 or 3 was. The main villain in it, his name's Joseph something,
Smith.
Son or something like that.
Joseph Smith.
And he's actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Like,
is he scarier than Voss?
Voss is scary on his own. Like, he's in his own different category.
Yeah.
But with this one, it's more of like, this is more realistic. I feel the aspect of how things are happening right now or whatever. It's very open. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say this personally, you would hate it. because
you were a fan of open world.
Well, here's the thing. Me and him had a discussion about this. Because I was telling him, I'm like, okay, I'm playing Batman. He's like, well, I'm playing Far Cry. And then I'm like, yeah, well, fuck you.
The content.
No, it's just because like I was like, man, I don't have this attention span for games like that anymore.
Like the huge open world,
yeah.
like Red Dead Redemption.
Well, and it's kind of sad because like I really like those games, but it's just like I guess as I'm getting old, I think it's just my whole time schedule now.
Well, I'll tell you this: like to complete it all, it's 39 hours.
Oh, that's not as bad as I was thinking.
Well, but from going point A to point B, I think that's just going okay in this set amount of time for each mission. This is the standard. But if you're doing everything else, like I'm running around. The really cool thing about this game is that it's not very linear. It's linear as in like. Okay, if you go over into this section, which has John Seed, that's their names. John Seed, which is one of the brothers of Joseph Seed, which is the main villain.
Okay.
You go into his area. You go. They don't have outposts anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, they just take over a big area. And then once you find that place and take over that place, because there are a lot of people it's an outpost, but in a sense of not
it's
how
a bigger outpost.
Yeah, it's a bigger outpost.
Okay.
And usually you're going there to save someone.
Oh, okay.
So, and then that person you can either hire later on in the game
was that like the other ones? Didn't 3 do that?
3 was more of like you just you secure the outpost and then it's like, okay, cool. Like that's it. You don't have any help. But these people you can actually be like, hey, I'm a sniper. I can go shoot people. So then you hire that person and go, hey, I'm going to bring this person onto the mission. Yeah. The other really cool thing about it is that you can make your own character in this one.
Really?
But you don't talk and your name is Rook.
I guess, you know
your
what?
name is what?
Rook. Because he's like, come here, Rook. Because you're a Rook.
Because I've been waiting for that for a far. Man,
yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, shit, I might as well get it now.
Right. Yeah. No, it's really fun.
I just don't think I think I'd just be wasting my money though.
It's very customizable.
Man, yeah.
This one, I will say, this one out of all of them, this is a damn near second one to me. I loved 4.
Dude, you just cussed.
Yeah,
on the podcast.
I've said that multiple times.
You said the D word.
Yeah, don't make it a big thing.
Cut that out.
Okay. Whatever. Anyway,
what was the joke from?
I don't even know.
You didn't get it out yet.
What was the joke from Age of Ultron where like Captain America doesn't like swear words?
Oh, he's like language.
Yeah, language. Ethan.
But a lot of the mechanics in the game, like the pickup loot system, I absolutely love that. Because now it's just you run over the person. It's not you like tapping the person, like going down on the floor. Yeah, because it took up so much time. I bet it takes the same time. Like in Far Cry 3, that's what you had to do. You had to go over to the person and get him. With this one, it's more of just X. You can still keep looking around. You know, you're very cognitive of your surroundings, and I really like that because a lot of stuff happened. Like the first time I played it, which was it came out on Tuesday, Wednesday is when I got to actually be able to play it. One of the things, and I think I recorded it, is I walked out, or I'm driving.
Did you get it on PC?
No, I got it on Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going down this road to go to another section in the map, and these enemies see me. They stop. They turn around. They're shooting. I turn around. I'm doing the gestures. I'm turning around, shooting out the window. As I'm doing that, I'm not looking at the road. I hit another car full of enemies, and I'm just like, oh crap!
You gotta keep your eyes on the road.
So I know. Well, I had the auto thing on. So then I get hit. I'm like, crap! I gotta get out. After this, as I'm getting out and shooting from both sides because I have cover from the other person that I've hit. Yeah. This bear comes out of nowhere. Like, yeah.
I just imagine the bear.
It's fighting a Wolverine.
A Wolverine?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
In this area. Yeah, I know. It just
don't skip over that like that wasn't a big deal.
No, it's
like
bear came. But
you spent like the last maybe almost 10 minutes painting this beautiful picture of what you were doing in the game. And I got a big fight, all these enemies, and then a bear. Like that's the most random thing.
Yeah. So a grizzly bear and this Wolverine are fighting close into the forest because the whole game's based in Montana. Yeah. And what has happened is Joseph, the main guy,
I was about to say that.
He takes over a certain area of Montana, but it's getting out of hand.
So you're trying to stop that?
Well, you go I'm going to tell you the very first mission. So you go in, you're a U.S. Marshal named Rook, and you're with another person. That was a good save. But I know it just falls over and makes a bunch of noise. But
and then a bear
just came in and just destroyed it all.
It's the funniest delivery of that ever.
That was great.
It was all nonchalantly too.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I want you to listen to back. Like
I know.
up.
I'm gonna be cracking up whenever I hear that part.
So ridiculous. I hit their car and I had cover and
Into the biggest fucking bear.
But
Came out of nowhere.
it was I can't even repeat the delivery because he was like, yeah. So then this bear came up and was like, whoa, a bear.
And that's the thing that I love about this game is that it's very diverse. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like actually in Far Cry 3, I don't know if Far Cry 4, whenever you're in Kyrat or whatever it's called, there were some times that you would just be like looking around and there's like usually like a goat or a hawk. I had heard about this on the game, is that sometimes the hawk would come up and pick up the goat and then just drop it. And I was like, that never happened. I played the whole game.
Man.
That never happened.
That sounds funny.
I come back like 2 or 3 months after I finish the game, go into it. The first thing I see is there's this like hawk and it's going,
Imagine Starscream
and it just
just
picks
like
it up.
picking up.
I know, right? Yeah.
Just picks it up and just
For
drops it.
Lord Megatron.
And I feel like
Sacrifice for Lord Megatron.
oh my gosh. But in this game, I feel like they totally amped it up where just anything can happen.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I love about this game. Also, is that it's difficult. There was this one.
I think I'm really bad at video games, but I think all of them were kind of difficult to me.
Well, with this one specifically, I put it because they give you the choice whether I put it on easy, normal, or hard. I put it on the hardest difficulty from the other. Did you say gas? I was like, okay, that's what you say.
Wow, so from
no,
all
I'm
these
not trying to
stacks,
say
I
it like
can't-
that.
So much money.
I got so many stacks. I got my
Oh my gosh.
Cut that out, Ethan.
Well, I don't even. Yeah, I will probably. Just get it out. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the game is just so diverse and just of what can happen.
Who made Far Cry? Like, what's the company?
So it's not 2K.
Is
It's
it
Ubisoft?
Ubisoft?
Yeah. Now
Okay.
they have a new engine called Diagma or something like that. It's the one that they used in Far Cry 4.
It's not Frostbite, is it?
No, Frostbite's
Frostbite.
like Crisis. So
who
makes
is
that?
that,
EA. Yeah.
Mm.
That's like all the Battlefield games.
Yeah. So I mean, my biggest issue with like, the only open world games that I've ever played are all
GTA.
usually Rockstar games.
Yeah.
And even
They
if
do
it's
a
not
good
GTA or Red Dead Redemption or just really most open world games are like they'll give you an objective and then they'll give you like a waypoint and then it's like you go do it and then you're done.
Right.
And it doesn't sound like Far Cry is doing that
Yeah,
this time around.
actually, with this one specifically, like even like I was watching a review on it myself of just like because I was like I'm not gonna be able to play this whole game in like 30 minutes before you came and picked me up. So I watched a review about it. All the characters are very diverse, but they actually have like really good conversations and actually they're hilarious.
Instead of just
That's
being
what I
like,
heard.
hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Ethan, bleep this
What?
out.
Okay, fine. I'll just take it
Just
out. Hold
playing.
on.
No, I'm just
Ethan,
playing.
language.
I just imagine like listening to the podcast, you just hear like a beep. Just
Oh
like,
no,
you know,
I could do that. I could do that.
No,
It'd
Can
be
we
funny.
censor ourselves?
I can censor myself.
Can you censor me?
Don't say anything. It's gonna take me forever to figure it out.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, we could drop some really bad words right now.
I'm good without that. But yeah, no, I would say.
You just like cuss subtly.
No, right. I would say. Wait, what did you say?
I didn't.
Oh, I thought you said
I just
something.
made the noise.
Oh,
What the beep are you talking about?
it's like Wes Anderson's Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
The cuss you are, the cuss am I.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Oh, another really cool thing is that there's a lot more flying in it. So no, but it's good.
Why are you mad about that?
I don't like flying.
Well, to get from point A to point B, getting in a helicopter is so much easier because
I'd
it's.
rather ride an elephant.
So
Oh yeah, I forgot that you could do that in Kyrat. Yeah.
if you had the option, since you can fly a lot,
Yeah.
would you rather ride the elephant or like have Starscream come pick you up?
Oh, well, dang. I do like
But
Starscream.
the whole time she's like, Anthony, like
I'm
she's
like,
talking. Yeah.
Stop it. Have you heard the tale of Lord Megatron? You would like it.
I like how serious you're like. Oh man, I really do like Starscream.
I'm like, that is my dog, man. He's like,
Yeah.
that's my
Starscream's my boy.
It's like, man, that's my boy. Hey, ooh,
Yeah.
with the jump shot.
with the jump shot. Hey.
Kobe.
But I
Oh
would
my god.
to round this out, I would give it probably a good solid 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
That's a
on.
good score.
Yeah. Also, there's sandbox stuff too that hasn't
like,
even
like crafting and all that.
no, but like you can make your own maps and
Oh, you can do
you
that
can
in the
do
other
anything.
ones. Well,
I know
in
that.
4.
This one looks actually a little bit fun. Like, because I remember it was in 3 and 4, but it was just like, it wasn't appealing.
I know on PC you can make crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah, I bet. And then also they're going to have live events as well. So they're going to have that. And all the things that for like the shops and everything are really good too as well.
Yeah, see, Ethan, you're really selling me on it, but I'm just scared to buy it because I just don't want to waste my money.
Well, you can rent it at Redbox.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I was saying earlier, it's like I don't
just
have
wait
that.
and borrow it from Ethan.
Well, I have an Xbox One.
Yeah, I got a PS4.
Also, it looks awesome in 4K.
I bet.
I just got a 4K TV, so I was like playing it on a 1080. It looked like crap, but it still played really well. In 4K, it looked pretty well, like really good.
Well, yeah, and like I was saying, because like I've been playing the Telltale games only because like I don't feel like going out,
right?
And like going like on this big.
Well, those Telltale
adventure.
games are so story driven.
Yeah,
and their stories are brilliant.
Yes, they're great stories.
Yeah,
and they spent a whole lot of time mastering them too.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I mean, and also I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, but like I can only do like one mission of that, and then I have to stop because it's just like it can get too big. And lately, okay, this is gonna sound really stupid, but I've been playing the hell out of Tony Hawk Underground 2 on my PlayStation 2. Yeah. Because I love skateboarding games.
Honestly, like Skate 2 and Skate 3.
Skate 3 is what's up,
dude. I got Skate 3 actually.
On Skate 3, oh my gosh, I could play that game for hours.
Did you guys ever play Tony Hawk Shred?
Is that the one with the board?
Yeah.
Ew.
I bought it one time.
Ew.
Dude.
Where it like makes you actually like do the tricks.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're like the most dangerous thing ever.
Oh yeah.
Like, cause I had one, I flipped off of it like all the time.
I love that people like bought that when that came out.
You want one?
No.
Okay.
I would be so bad at that. But like I remember when people like would go out and buy it and they'd be like, "Oh, if I just do this game, like that's it. I'll be good." Like, no, that's not how
to
do
like the skate park's like
to do like I know, right? It's more of like a snowboard, if anything. Like
yeah,
you're gonna be screwed at the skate park.
But it's so hard to try and do tricks on it because it was on the ground.
Well, because everybody thought that to do a kickflip, you actually had to do the kickflip. No, there are sensors on the side. Yeah. Like I had some friends that they would come over, they would try it, and I was like, "What are you trying to do?" He's
and
like,
they'd be like jumping.
Yeah, like you put like a whole motion, and it's like, no, you just tilt,
like, bro. You're smashing my thing.
Like you just need to tilt it. Like it's not like, for example, you play Rock Band. You're not saying like you're going up and down on the things like trying to do the guitar solos. No, it's just you hit the button. Yeah, like
yeah. I love skateboarding, but I just can't skate. That's my thing. I mean, the only thing I can do is like a pop shove it. Yeah, but I can barely land that.
Can you do a manual?
I probably can do a manual. At least not on my board because my board's really cheap.
Well, we were gonna get you a new board at some point. Yeah. Remember?
I won't. I was gonna bang. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was like, don't do it.
Well, because like edit it out.
Because Primitive, they had this line.
Wait, actually, real quick, can you just go just real quick? Okay, I'm gonna use that as the bleep. There you go.
So now we can curse.
Well, you've been cursing.
No, but like,
well, fuck.
Yeah, I'll see if I can do. I'll do what I do.
So now, whenever you say that, it's gonna be me going.
He just beeps every time. Like I'm like doing my Starscream impression.
Right.
Lord,
oh my god, these things are peaking.
Yeah, but Primitive, they had this line of Dragon Ball skateboard decks.
Yeah,
I tried to get one yesterday. It's sold out. Of course. Yeah, so
honestly, just get one
first world problems, but
yeah.
get one with Starscream on it. Okay, you know what? I'll just be over here if you need it.
If you want me to waste your fuck, I can't talk. If you want me to waste your money more, Anthony, you're late on that.
I know.
So yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I was thinking about making my own deck at one point, putting like Movie Man Productions on there.
Cool.
But we'll see. Yeah. So guys, I don't know if you knew this, but Donald Glover and his brother
Steven? I thought it was Stefan.
I don't know, but they had this Deadpool series that was going to be coming to FX. It was animated. Everyone was so excited about it, but they canceled it.
Did they give reasons why they canceled it?
Well, it's still kind of under investigation, but from what we know, it might be because like there's like a Taylor Swift episode, and Marvel was just like, okay, this is too much for us.
A Taylor Swift episode?
Well, there was creative differences between both FX and.
Well, this is an updated thing.
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, because
like in the cartoon that we're gonna have an episode with Taylor Swift in it.
Well, she wasn't gonna be in it. They're gonna be like making fun of her or something. But like, but yeah, because there was that creative differences thing because there was because FX was trying to say that Donald Glover said he was too busy for it,
I
and
could
then
see
Donald
that.
Glover said, "No, I'm not."
Oh,
and
trying to hide it or something like that.
Yeah, and apparently, and from what I was reading, I guess Marvel thought it was a little too much for him. But I mean, I'm just like, it's Deadpool. I mean,
He's over the top all the time.
yeah.
Exactly.
And honestly, putting him in cartoon form opens up so many more possibilities for you to do.
And I've honestly been waiting for like a more adult Deadpool like series.
Yeah, the movie was a huge step in the right direction.
Oh yeah,
but
The thing that just kind of like confuses me is that like if it had an issue with Taylor Swift, they did that with Justin Bieber in Atlanta. Exactly. So I don't understand.
Exactly.
Like the guy that plays that does the Yoo-Hoo commercial. Have you guys seen that? Okay. Yeah, that's supposed to be the Justin Bieber type person in that universe. So I don't know
because that doesn't and they're saying that, but that like you said, I mean that doesn't really add up. Honestly,
it doesn't.
So in like
it might just be what was it? Was it FX?
Yeah.
It might just be FX trying to save some face.
I don't know because FX they got a lot of like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's like a darker.
I mean, their
comedy.
first episode is like really bad. Like,
I love that show by the way.
I know
need to
it's
watch
a good
the new season.
It's a good show.
But
maybe skip the first episode.
But yeah, they've got a lot of like edgy stuff on.
Yeah,
there.
and also
I keep saying Daredevil, Deadpool. I think that would have been a freaking awesome addition to it, and everyone loves Deadpool at this point.
And
know
also
what?
they
Honestly,
love Donald Glover. Like,
what if they take it to Netflix?
Ooh.
can they?
I don't know if they can because I know they're doing that Fox deal, but that kind of goes into another thing is how Dark Phoenix and New Mutants that's going to be pushed back because of the
Those aren't
contract
Netflix,
deals.
right?
No. Dark Phoenix that's going to be the new X-Men movie, and then New Mutants is the other new X-Men movie, which is going to be like a horror film, but Marvel.
I don't know how I feel about any more X-Men.
I know, yeah, because I don't like the cast now because they got all these new people. I don't really care about.
Well, I mean, I
Is
understand.
it still like Jennifer Lawrence and all that? Or is that?
I think Jennifer Lawrence is out now.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to do it anymore.
I
I don't blame her because
Well, I mean, it's
the
just
last
like
one was just
that last
terrible.
one did not do well in the
well,
box
okay.
office.
So here's the thing, like,
fighting Goldar the whole time. It was
right?
like-
Yeah. Well, it's just like okay. So let's take like the Chris Nolan Batman movies for example.
Yeah.
Right. So before those came along, the last thing you had was like the ridiculous Joel Schumacher Batman movies, which were like in the 90s. It took them a long time to like revamp and be able to have a clean slate.
Nice to meet you.
Right. Ice to see you. Like so ridiculous, you know. Like let's kick some ice. Like shut up, Arnold. Stupid bald.
I only love those movies because I grew up with them. But man, they're so bad.
I don't care what anybody says. Jim Carrey is a great Riddler. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, because he's like crazy.
I love
He was the only Riddler.
Rip Jim Carrey.
I think this Jim Carrey that we have now would be even better Riddler, to be honest.
They're really like existential. No, anyway, but like the reason why those movies work so well is because they had a new take on it. It was a fresh start, a clean slate, and what they did was really, really great. And they had the time to like really like plan way ahead and think it through. And we like X-Men has been around since around the time that we were actually born. Like that was when the first X-Men movie came out with Hugh Jackman, like way back in the day with Wolverine and stuff. It's been going on for so long, and that universe just ended.
Yes.
Like just
It
ended like
last year or 2 years ago.
2016, right? Was when Logan came out.
I'll look it up, dude.
No, it came out 2017 because it was in the Oscars.
February. That's right. It was
Yeah,
early.
Yeah.
Right. So it just ended. It hasn't even. It's been like a year. You know, like you got to give it some time to breathe.
Oh yeah.
And by give it some time, I mean give it a lot of like. How many X-Men movies are there? Like 10.
And
Something like that.
And I'm not ready for like another like X-Men team movie.
No,
I want
not
a
at all.
Magneto origin film.
I would love that.
Like that because they were teasing that for like the longest, but that never happened.
And you saw like those bits and pieces of them like in like those concentration camps, like him and what's Magneto's name? Eric Lensher, I think.
Something like
I
that.
think it's
I know
Eric
it's
Lensher.
Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, so Eric and then Professor X, like you see they meet and stuff like that,
Yep.
and it's that would be great.
I just don't. I wish that last movie would be the last one, and then Marvel revamp the X-Men.
Right.
Who's gonna play Wolverine though? Because you
Dude,
won't.
Here's the thing.
Knows right now.
Good luck trying to fill those shoes.
Yeah,
right?
no, that's
Good
like
luck.
because that's like what 20 years of freaking
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Right. And now, like, he is synonymous with that character.
Exactly.
And honestly, if you look at the comics, like the way Wolverine was portrayed before Hugh Jackman started playing him, over the years, they have modeled how he looks in comic books after Hugh Jackman.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Wolverine was always like that tiny guy, like but
Yeah,
now,
Wolverine
he's
was like
freaking- he's ripped
was
and
like I'm 5'5". Wolverine was like maybe 5 foot even, small like a Wolverine, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
but now he's modeled after Hugh Jackman, and I mean,
Still wish we would have seen him in his costume.
in the original, like the crazy yellow and stuff.
Yeah. But I know that there was something a long time ago that said that, if before this deal with Fox and Marvel came, it was like Hugh Jackman would say, if they ever came together, he would totally be Wolverine again, but I don't see him doing that.
No, well, because
Even
it's
though
like,
that would be nice, but
right. Well, it's time to put it to bed. Like
Yeah.
they ended it on a great spot with Logan.
Yeah.
Finally getting that rated R that they deserve.
Oh, yeah.
After all that time. But
Man,
I think that
I just watched the first scene just last night because we got that new TV, so I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this looks amazing.
it freaked me
Like,
out when I first saw it because he's fighting those dudes who are attacking his
Yeah.
logo and stuff,
Mhm.
and he like.
and it goes through the guy's head, yeah,
right, and like
straight
you can
up.
see the blade like through the dude's
Yeah.
mouth.
I've always wanted an R-rated
It was crazy.
Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
That was great.
And actually, didn't Hugh Jackman say that if Fox or whoever was going to okay it, he would do a thing with Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I never heard about that.
That would be awesome though.
I heard that there was a rumor that might be swirling around and being a thing.
Yeah. Oh, I would be down for that.
I mean, that would be a really interesting, seeing as those two characters really kind of like play off each other. And then Deadpool and Spider-Man as well
Oh yeah.
would be really cool.
Wait, Deadpool was in Spider-Man?
No.
Deadpool interacted a
Oh,
lot with
okay.
Spider-Man in the comic books.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Man, I honestly think that they shouldn't replace Wolverine anytime soon.
Oh, no.
I think that they can still make their X-Men movies, but maybe have Deadpool kind of fill in those shoes for Wolverine for a moment.
Yeah, to kind of be like the bridge between some of the movies.
Yeah, because he could be PG-13 in those films. They kind of
But
tone down,
see-
but then in his own film,
Right.
you just give him like a all-out.
Maybe, but
R-rated.
then like too much of a good thing can be a bad thing, especially with Deadpool because he's such a niche character. I feel like because he's so different and keeps breaking the fourth wall, and between all that, I feel like if he started showing up in all these different X-Men movies, it would be like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well-
Like the obligatory Wolverine cameo was always expected in
Right.
every X-Men movie.
Yeah, it's just I feel like there's nothing really that's drawing people to the X-Men movies.
Right.
Because I mean, it's a totally new cast, and like in the last one, just was not that good at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna try and bring us back.
Well, should
to
they bring it back though? I mean, like how you guys?
I
have
don't
been
think
saying,
so. I
don't
honestly
think so
don't.
either.
No,
I think
I
that
mean,
they should
it's-
change it. Maybe
but
like
Fox-
Fantastic Four. We've never had a good one.
No, they're not. Gonna
Please.
do, they're not going to do another Fantastic. Fox
saying.
isn't going to do a Fantastic
know.
Four, but Marvel might take.
But
a crack
now
at
that-
it later on.
now that Marvel has
I think Fantastic Four is just like an audition for the people that they want to put in other movies.
Yeah.
Because Flamethrower in the first movie was Captain America now,
Flamethrower.
or whatever his name is. What is it? Flame on.
Flamer,
I
flame
can't
guy,
think of-
Flameo.
What is his name?
flamboyant, flame.
The Human Torch.
The Human
Torch. I had to think about it.
Fire guy.
And then Michael B. Jordan was the Torch as well.
Well, because
and-
it was the funniest thing is that Creed came out that same year,
Yeah.
and right after that, because everyone was, they're all like, "Oh,
Michael B.
man."
Jordan's amazing.
Well, because before then they're like, "Oh my god, stupid fucking black Human Torch," which I was like, "Okay, yeah, that is kind of weird."
Oh, people had a big issue with that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so
And
the
then-
weird part is that Johnny Storm is his name,
Yeah.
and Sue Storm is his sister, and they're supposed to be like,
It's just the adopted one. Yeah, it
really
was
weird.
weird. It
They
was
made him
just-
adopted, and so there was like she was still white, but he was black, but his dad was in the movie. It was really weird.
Oh,
It was
okay.
really weird.
Honestly,
Okay.
Yeah.
not gonna lie, full disclosure, I didn't see it. I didn't bother seeing.
I
that
didn't
movie.
watch the whole thing.
I saw a little bit of it. It's not that great.
Well, because I thought they came kind of close with the original Fantastic Four movie, which I do like.
Yeah.
Just
the one with
what-
Jessica Alba.
yeah.
Okay.
But which is weird because Chris Evans is in.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But like now that Marvel has Fantastic Four back with the big Fox deal and stuff, I would not mind them like retrying their hand at that. If they did it really well, I think that could work. And plus, with Avengers: Infinity War coming up, obviously someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
If it was Tony Stark, the only person who could really fill that gap would be Reed
Silver
Richards.
Surfer. Oh.
Doctor Strange.
No, it had to be Reed Richards.
Well, I know they're saying that Doctor Strange is going to be like the new Stark of the next phase.
The new.
Oh, really?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, right, but as far as like the technologically savvy,
yeah.
super rich person goes, it would have to be Reed Richards. Even though he's
Yeah.
not like super rich, but he's incredibly smart.
Or Black Panther.
Maybe, but he
'Cause-
doesn't have like the super brain power that.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No, you're
okay.
good.
I'm gonna
I
let
just
you
rem-
finish.
Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
No, because okay, speaking of Donald Glover from earlier, did you know that Donald Glover he wrote some of Black Panther? He like wrote some of the funny lines. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember, but at the end, when the kids they see the spaceship in the sky, or no, it's on the ground. At
One
this
of those
point.
kids.
Yeah, he's
Glover.
like, he's all like, "Oh man, is that a space Bugatti?" That was his line that he wrote. I think that was like one of the few lines that he wrote.
Yeah,
Man,
because
it was-
the whole issue with
a
that
space
was that
Bugatti.
I know.
Oh my god.
it's very good. But the whole reason why they did that is, or the reason why there aren't more jokes like that is because he only had like 15 or 20 minutes before that to get into.
Yeah, because I heard it on
The
like
script.
some podcast, but yeah, just wanted to share that. But
That's
you
awesome.
can go on though.
I don't remember what I was saying.
You were talking about,
Fantastic Four.
yeah.
No,
The
it
torch,
would
yeah.
it would be good to revamp that. But like with X-Men, we've seen it. Let it have its time to marinate. Let people have those
Want it
movies.
back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then once people are like, hey, you know what? It's been a while since we've had an X-Men movie. Then maybe reintroduce, do a
Just slide
recast.
into the DMs.
Right. Oh my God. Do that. And then cover things like the Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix and then do that.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Right now, it feels more like a cash grab than anything.
Is it only Fantastic Four that's like the other option? There has to be another
the Fantastic.
option.
I mean, there are a lot of characters that they can draw
Right.
from, but
Yeah.
Fantastic Four is their nickname is the first family of Marvel.
Okay.
They're a huge property, and unfortunately, as far as like cinematically, they haven't been done very well.
Okay.
But if they were done well, they'd be a huge addition to the Marvel universe.
They might be better as like a series, maybe.
Like on Hulu
Well, I
or
mean,
something like that?
Well, maybe.
Because like I know they got that Cloak and Dagger series coming out.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, because I can see it like more on the lines of that. Because it's not like dark like Daredevil and Punisher.
Right.
It's more lighthearted.
Right. And they're kids, so it's like
Yeah.
kind of like teens, I think.
Yeah. Gosh, what was I gonna say? I just really want Doctor Doom. That's what I really
A good
want.
Doctor Doom.
Yes.
Honestly, I thought that whoever the guy was that played him in the original one with Jessica Alba and
Oh, yeah.
Chris Evans, I didn't think he did that bad of a job.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. He was on an old show called Nip Tuck. He was the main dude.
Oh
yeah. Is that still going?
No,
No,
Good.
no.
no, that show's old. No, I Julian McMahon, I think is his name.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
looking
yeah.
it up.
think
If
that's
I'm
about
right,
right.
my memory is amazing. I think
Yeah.
I just kind of pulled that out of nowhere. Guy from Nip Tuck, Doctor Doom. That's what he's googling.
Brain blast. Remember that?
It's Jillian McMahon.
Jillian.
No, it's Julian.
Yeah,
You got it. Yeah.
But no, I thought he did a pretty good job of like getting the villainy and jealousy of Reed Richards. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, I
Are you looking up Nip Tuck stuff right now? I was like,
No,
why are you
no.
laughing?
So, like the whole cast is like Jessica Alba, Susan Storm, and all this stuff.
Michael
and then
Chiklis.
the last person is Kerry Washington as Alicia Masters.
Right.
But then they got this girl, and it's just sexy nurse. Like I was like, what is that? Like
Human Torch, the Thing,
Sexy
Invisible
Nurse.
Woman, Sexy Nurse.
Yeah,
come to
I
the
was just
theater
like,
near you.
that's okay.
Sunday.
So Ethan, I can't believe I forgot to ask you about this, but you saw Lord,
Yeah,
not God, but like
man, I saw him.
Lord. Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, no, I saw.
Yeah, she
Lord. Yeah. Look, that was like the whole concert.
know,
Would you be
right?
pissed
She
off?
comes out and she goes,
I don't know. I think I would laugh
She's
for
like,
like a few minutes.
Lord.
She went for it was the melodrama tour. She had RTJ with them. I'm repping the T-shirt today.
Looks like the Infinity Gauntlet, but like
I know,
like
right?
a chicken's
Yeah,
Infinity
it's
Gauntlet.
really cool. But yeah, no, it was really good. It was very entertaining.
it's stuck in my head. I'm sorry.
I can tell. But she did a lot of stuff from her old album, which is pure heroin. I don't know why I couldn't say heroin. And then
Censor that.
her new one, which I don't remember what it's called, but
how was the production level? Of her,
oh
of
my
her
gosh,
show?
it was amazing. So in the
Did they
back,
have any like crazy stages or anything?
yeah.
Like,
So
Was she like flying?
for RTJ, no.
Lord, oh Lord.
She's just flying out over the crowd. I am Lord. Yeah.
And she's wearing all white. She just-
I would have to. She did wear a all white thing
Oh,
at
yeah?
one point. Yeah.
I
Man,
am
she
Lord.
changed like 4 different times, like in front of us, and I'm like, this is taking
Yeah, I just
forever.
imagine she has like an outfit on underneath.
Not the kind of show that I was thinking
Well,
about.
what happened is behind, so on the stage, she had just the main stage.
Yeah.
Right.
And then in the back, she had these huge teleprompter, or not teleprompters, but screens. And
Right.
they would show videos of just like,
was it like a quick change? Like
not quick change, but all of it had like different things that went with the music. Like I think that they just
while
went
she
and
was
filmed
changing.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But then also while she's singing as well.
Oh, cool. Right on.
And then in between the screens and where she's staying, there's a cage. That's where she was actually changing. They would just turn down the lights. She would change real quick and then come back out.
Oh, cool.
It would take
but-
like 5 seconds. She just like
Yeah,
and then
like-
just like ran out.
I was like, dang, she can change real quick.
That's
But
impressive.
yeah, right. Like if I'm doing that, I'm taking an hour. But then also she would change in this thing. But then this thing, it was kind of like a cage. Would go.
Right.
People would go in and dance, and they lifted it up, and it was
like random audience
oh,
people.
No, no, but like her dancers or
Lord.
performers, and like as
I am Lord.
as she's singing, it's going and it's tilting, and they're doing like their interpretive
That's kinda
dance and all this
cool.
stuff. Yeah,
That's
it was really
tight.
cool. And then
Lit.
RTJ was just kind of like, it was very like if I was like prone for seizures, I would have died.
Were they like the opening act, or did they perform
No,
with
there
her?
was another opening act. I didn't like her as much.
What was her name?
Like Shrove Tuesday, I don't know. It was like,
She was there.
yeah, she opened
You
for
know
them.
her?
Stove.
Oh, God.
I guess he knows her. Are you kidding? Are you actually kidding?
Definitely kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was like,
So good.
I don't think he knows who this person
was
is.
like-
Megatron. Megatron was there.
No, like I really thought you were serious.
I know. I did too. I was like,
See,
I was trying to keep it up. I was gonna see how long I could go.
I don't know why people keep doing the double opening act. I don't like that.
what
Like
do you mean double opening.
like when I went to see Chance the Rapper, there was like a group of like 2 other rappers before him, then like a DJ.
Oh my
Is
god.
that something I'm gonna have to cut out? I wasn't listening.
Leave it.
What'd you say?
Leave it.
That's why I was trying to do this earlier.
Oh god, I keep banging on the table.
all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Why?
No, but when I saw Chance, there was 2 guys before him who was like a rap group. No, and then there was like a DJ, and then there was him.
Okay.
But like the 2 people before, I mean, I know that Run the Jewel was amazing.
Oh
but
my gosh.
like the 2 people who were before Chance were awful.
Yeah.
And like, there's no reason to have 2 opening acts. I kind of don't
Right.
like
Yeah.
that. As a musician, that irks me. I went to the show and I was like, well, you pay all this money to go see Chance. You figure there's gonna be an opening act, but like make the opening act good and like give him a decent set, and then have a little bit of a break, and then bring out Chance. Don't have like an act and then an act that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
And then get to the main act, because then by that time it's like 11:30 and everyone's like, okay, come on.
How long was he on stage? You think?
He was on stage for a while.
Okay.
But it took forever. Like
Oh, yeah.
forever. You know, it'll be like concert starts at like 7:30.
Right.
And then he didn't come on until like almost 11 o'clock.
See, but I like that though, because like for mine, it was till 10:30.
Right.
That kind of irritated me
Right.
because I was like, I would have liked to see a lot more of RTJ than I did. Like I think we listened to them for an hour,
Right.
and I was like, they have so many more songs that they did not play. They played mainly from their second album and a little bit of the third album. I mean, they gotta play the Black Panther one, the Don't Get Captured. No, it's not Don't Get Captured, but it's the one that they play on the no. No. But I wish yeah, he's always
that-
Legend Has It.
Oh no, that was literally
Are you sure that
Future.
wasn't-
That was Future from no.
I was making a joke.
Oh. You're funny, man.
No. I'm not.
He's a really funny.
But it was Legend Has It.
Okay.
That song. So
Rumor has it.
Okay, guys, I've never been to a concert before.
yeah.
What? Okay, and I can't really answer this question.
That's not true.
No, it's actually like we were actually talking about going and seeing Logic in Oklahoma City.
My boy.
You still want to do that?
Yeah,
We can talk about it later.
I'll
but
brave it, even though it's gonna be really hot. But
You actually haven't been to a concert?
No.
I've never been.
Like ever?
No, it's weird because I love music, but it's just.
Do you mean like not like a big concert, like a BOK,
No,
or
he
like
means
not
like any
one
concert.
at all?
I mean, I've been to church and they've got some.
That's not.
that's a concert.
Thank
Yeah.
yes, Lord. Dum, 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 yes, Lord.
Okay.
But yeah, so my question to you guys is, what's the best concert you guys ever been to?
That's rough.
Yeah.
I personally like Guts Church.
Allie and AJ.
Allie, you went to Allie and AJ?
Yeah,
concert?
I met
Oh,
the
that's
Jonas
cool.
Brothers too.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know about
man. I
Dude,
used to love the Jonas
Burning Up
Brothers.
was the jam.
Yeah. No,
back in the
that's
day.
where I bought the album.
My-
was at that
my
concert.
favorite song.
I'm burning up, burning up.
My favorite song they did was the
You
one
lay-
on the Johnny Capahala movie. Capahala, I forgot the name.
Johnny Capahala back on board, dude.
Yeah, the
How
song
did
they
you
did
know
for
that like straight off the bat?
Yeah, he let me suffer for like the
I know.
longest.
I know.
He's like,
he took a really long time
he's
to
like-
answer it.
He's like Johnny blah blah blah.
No,
blah.
well, first there was Johnny Tsunami.
Oh yeah,
Never
Johnny
forget about
Tsunami.
Johnny Tsunami.
Yeah,
And
because
then
that's the
just-
one where he was surfing, and the next one he was like dirt.
He was
dirt
like,
boarding.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that person. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, that song they did in there, man, that was my beep for the during the day.
Yeah.
But so best concerts you guys
Best
been to?
concert, man. I've been to a lot. Like
Yeah.
it's.
Um,
I will tell you. The first. I will tell you my first experience at a concert where I was in a mosh pit while
Oh.
I'm thinking.
was it
So
5 Finger Death Punch.
no, it was AWOL Nation. When they came, which it was really weird. So is AWOL Nation, Neon Trees, and Group Love,
Wait, why was there a mosh pit at AWOL Nation?
because they started playing Sail.
So
And when that song was like, everybody just started pushing. And so I was with a couple of girls, and we were kind of like in a group, and somehow they got pulled in, and I'm 14 by the way. I'm 14, so I'm like, and I've never been in like a mosh pit or anything.
Right.
So the one of our adult person was like, "You need to go in there and get them." I was like, "You're the adult, go get her." Like I don't care.
Like, no, I'm bigger than all
like,
of
nah,
you.
I'm
nah, like they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. So I go in.
I just said a 14-year-old boy.
Okay, but by the way, this is what happens. I go in because I'm like I had anxiety about going in, so I go in. They come out. Like so
then you're
so
stuck.
I'm in here,
Okay.
and there's
And then a bear.
well, there was a big lady.
Oh,
But no, it was so funny. So she's kind of like the border. Like as I went in, she just like became the border. So I'm trying to come out.
to turn to just like a
And
wall.
she pushes me back in, and I'm like, no, like the part in Get Out whenever he's like,
Oh, yeah,
like,
he's like-
that's how I am. And so I go back in, and there are people like pushing. I see like this dude, he's like punching a guy, and like they're fighting over here, like there's pushing over here. There's like people making out, and then there's a person that comes over by me, and they like their face like gets like right there. I'm like, huh, and like like.
That's the best, like the Metal Gear Solid, the little exclamation point pop up.
I know, yeah. Yeah. So, like, like we both make eye contact, like we shouldn't be here, and then he gets punched in the face. I'm like trying to just push just to get out of there.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
I actually hit a girl in the face, and I was just like, this is
I
just-
killed her.
I know, right?
I accidentally Chris Browned a girl.
But I know.
Oh.
Before Chris Brown, it's even worse. No,
Damn.
and I'm like apologizing, and she just gets pushed away, and I'm just like, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
And then as they saw that, somebody actually started bleeding.
I'm sorry. And
it
this
was
was your
just-
favorite concert?
No, this is just like one of the craziest
Okay, I was
concerts
about to
that I've
say.
been.
I was like,
No, I'm like, I wouldn't have.
Then I
wouldn't
got
have
out of
fun
it, and I was
getting
like,
beat
I want to punch more people.
Go on, punch me in the face. Do it.
Like, yeah. But it was very interesting to say none the least. They had to stop that song because the manager of Cane's was like, there's a person down. We need to stop this. And then like they tried to be like, peace, love, positivity. I was like, when you start a mosh, there's no peace. There's no positivity. There's just punching.
a man has been killed.
Yeah, a man has been, he is down.
Have some respect.
And so that was it was pretty interesting.
That's insane.
Yeah. So
Yeah, have you? Yeah.
Oh
No, go ahead.
Okay, so and you were 14 at the time.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
But you had like a guardian with you guys, like
They were all women. All the people that I was with, because we went as a group. There were some of our friends, but they were somewhere else in the like area further back. So we got pushed up because group love. All the people that like hippies, like kind of like I don't know. You've probably heard their songs, but they play them on like 104. It was when they first started coming, and then those people left. So then you move up in the canes when people leave, and so after that, I was just like, this is crazy. And then like Neon Trees came out, and that was kind of fun, but I was still like, all right, like it's still trying to get over that. But it was very interesting to say none the least.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So
I don't get floor seats anymore though. Or floor, like where you're just standing most of the time.
So
I'm always like, for example, like with RTJ.
So you can sit down?
Well, not at the canes. I mean, you can on the sides, but it's just an open floor essentially at the canes. I don't know about now. They might have changed it. Have you been lately?
Yeah, I actually played a show at the Canes not too long ago.
Have they changed it?
Not really.
Okay.
It's pretty much. I mean, it's kind of like a historic place, so I don't think they try to change it all that much.
I saw Fair at that concert.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. That was a couple of years ago, though. What was your crazy? Do you have a crazy experience?
Nothing like that, where it was like mosh.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Nothing like that. But I think I didn't go to a lot of concerts. I still haven't been to like a ton of concerts. I've been to like a handful. But like some people like all they do is save up money and go to concerts, and I don't do that.
Right.
But
I have a rule:
which
don't
is
go see the same person twice.
Really?
Multiple times. Yeah.
Why?
Because I've already seen the person. I know.
But what
how
about
it's
like
gonna be.
new music and stuff?
New music? I mean, I guess.
Like, why wouldn't you want to see Justin Timberlake twice?
Oh, that's good. Well, actually, I was kind of bored at his.
On the 2020 tour?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Because of where I was sitting, though.
Wait, where were you sitting?
Right behind the stage.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Like, it was.
Well,
it
I think
wasn't
that would be a
directly,
reason to see him twice.
It wasn't
though.
directly behind the stage, but I was just like, also, that was the time that I was finding out, I need glasses. So everything's all blurry.
So you were like, Justin, where are you?
No, I can see him.
just
Like
staring at a
it
trash
was just
can
like
the whole
super
time.
blurry.
That was a great show.
But we were kind of like, so here's his stage.
Yeah.
I'm doing a example. Like, so here's the stage. I'm over here in the nosebleed section.
Yeah.
Kind of just
but like
off.
literally, like if this is the stage, you're like here.
Yeah, exactly. But the cool thing about his, did you go?
No.
Okay.
I can't afford that.
Well, at that one, these were cheap tickets. Like it was
yeah?
like 36 and
Okay.
yeah. I totally forgot about Nickelback. That's a different story. I'll tell you that. But his stage moved from
right. It like
would go up, which that terrified me. I was like, if I was down on the floor
when
and
he,
that
when
thing
he
just
plays "Let the Groove Get In."
yeah,
Yeah, they're right there. Let the groove.
and like it would move and like everybody would move as well,
Yeah.
and it was very interesting,
Yeah.
but terrifying.
See, the craziest was actually John Mayer's concert was really good.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge John Mayer fan. His guitar playing is fantastic, and he's so much better live than any of his studio stuff. Like it's not even the same kind of. He's amazing. But I think the coolest memory I have of any concert I've been to was probably when I saw AC/DC.
No way.
Yeah, that was. I was probably about 13 or 14. I was at the BOK. I think that was like 2000.
That's cool.
2009. My birthday's in January, so it was like right at the beginning of 2009, I think. I think I was probably like 13. Yeah, 2009. Yeah. So, and I got the tickets for my birthday because at the time I was playing guitar in high school and I was like, rock and roll.
Yeah.
I was all about it. And so, like, I got to the show and I was like super excited. And I had some pretty decent seats too and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, the way they opened the show. Like, usually, when you go to big arenas, the lights, they like turn down slowly. It wasn't really like that. They turned off quick. It was almost like a power
Like
shutdown.
to get your attention,
Right. But so like the light shut off, it was just like, and then it was just complete darkness.
Ooh.
And everyone was like, yeah,
Right.
and then like, and it would stay like that for like a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like still screaming. It was like a minute went by and they're screaming their heads off, and then like a beam of light just. And then there's Angus Young, the lead guitar player.
Ooh.
Like he's in the schoolboy uniform, like super classic.
that's what's up.
And he's got the guitar and everything, but he's got his hand up. So the beam of light, and he's just like.
Oh, that's
he's just,
awesome.
He's just there.
That's his
and
stance.
and then he just marinates in that for like a hot second. Everyone's like, because they can finally see him and stuff. And he starts playing Thunderstruck. you know, but he's playing it with one hand.
He's doing.
with
His hand stays up there like that. He's holding his pick and he's doing it on like tapping the guitar, like the whole thing. Right, and it was insane. And then like they keep going, and then you hear the dun dun, whoa, and he's still doing it with one hand. And he pretty much does the whole song like that. And I was just like,
he's got to have arthritis.
Like, I was like, that is the most badass thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like you use the two hands still most of the time whenever people do that.
But like the guy who wrote the song,
amazing.
he's an incredible, like a legendary guitar player, known for being an innovator, and like it was amazing. And being a guitar player at the time and being like a little like impressionable kid, I was like, and it was amazing. I think that's my favorite concert memory.
That's so cool. Like, see, man, and I wish I had a concert memory. The closest thing I've ever been to a concert was like when I saw Kevin Smith. But I mean, that wasn't a concert.
I would say that it's not a concert, but it's a live event. Yeah,
I want to see him so bad, dude.
We should go because he always comes around Oklahoma. Because I think at one point he was in Wichita.
I want to see. He doesn't do Fat Man on Batman like anywhere near here.
No, he does
in California.
Cali, yeah.
And I'm kind of upset because I really want to go to that.
But his Nights with Kevin Smith are really good though. Like that's the one I went to.
Is it like stand up or like
he's just talking to the crowd. It is stand up, but I mean like you have a chance to go up and talk to him as well.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off because I was like the fifth in line.
What were you gonna ask him?
I was just.
Would you adopt me?
No, I was just gonna like tell him like, man, you were like a big inspiration in my life, honestly, and I wasn't really gonna ask him anything.
Right.
But
it always terrifies me.
Yeah, but then I was so freaking close. I was like literally like the second person getting ready to talk
and
to
they
him.
stopped taking questions.
Yeah, because he's
you just go
no. Yeah, I was like that in my mind, like God damn it.
Yeah.
But no, because like he did this really cool thing to where like he married two people on stage during the performance. So yeah,
That's
so he did
weird.
that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean,
There's like something really cool about being able to tell your hero how much, even though like they get it all the time. It's like.
It's for you.
It's a gratifying
amazing.
thing. I remember I met a really famous trumpet player. His name is Wynton Marsalis. He came here. Yeah. He's a huge deal. And when I went to go see him, like I met him like after like 2 weeks of my playing trumpet, so I couldn't like talk to him about anything. But the second time he came back here, and like I was just like. Hi. Like, I didn't know what to do. But the second time he came back, he came to the PAC here in Tulsa, and I went backstage and stuff. I had to wait for all these like little kids to like, literally, they went up to him and they were like, "What instrument do you play?" After he's like been world-renowned trumpet player. Like,
I play the harmonica.
Yeah, he was like, "I play God's instrument, the trumpet." Ha! Like, he's like, he loved it. Yeah. But being able to tell him, like, you know, you're my favorite trumpet player, and like, I love all your records, and there's something like really special about being able to do that.
Yeah,
Even though, like I said, he gets it all the time. You know?
It's just like kind of being in the presence of him.
Right.
Know? It's just like you see him. It's
like
just
I got to shake his hand, and like have a conversation with this guy.
Yeah.
And like I got to like hold his horn, and I got to play his horn. It's just like insane.
That's why I really like RTX. Is because I see all these people that I've watched. There was this one time we go to a restaurant that was just outside the convention center. Yeah. And I'm seeing like 5 different people that I know. Like there's one person that I know. I was like, if I met you, even though that you're just like across from this table over here, I would be freaking out right now.
Right.
I think that's just, it's so cool.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I want to go to like Comic-Con or something like that.
Yeah, or like South by. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like just to where like if you went into like SDCC, for those of you who don't know, that's San Diego Comic-Con.
I know what that. Well, my uncle has a booth there.
Really?
Yeah.
Hook us up.
We need to go.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
That would be amazing. But like just to be like around when like you have like all of these super famous like movie stars and you got all these comic things and unfortunately though the only thing I don't like about San Diego Comic-Con is like it's now become big like show off thing for movies and stuff as opposed to being like a Comic-Con, you know?
Right.
Which I do like because I think one of the best moments I saw was when they announced Batman versus Superman.
Oh yeah,
that was freaking amazing, but the movie didn't hold up. But that was freaking awesome.
No, yeah, I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying like the fact that all of the reason why that program was created gets overshadowed because of all the. Granted, all the stuff they do promote is like crazy comic book things and it's really cool. I'm not complaining. It's SDCC. I love it. But,
right.
You know.
Okay. So guys, this is kind of weird. This is something we briefly brought up earlier. But Chris Brown. Okay.
Are you gonna talk
I feel
about
like I
the new
just spoke
song?
for all of America when I
Well,
made that sigh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go
Cause
on,
like,
Little Dicky. We're gonna talk about that song.
yeah, okay.
I haven't
Well,
seen the
no,
video or
not
anything
really
yet.
that song, but okay. So Lil Dicky did the song called "Freaky Friday."
Right.
Very good music video. I loved it. Lil Dicky did what?
It was all right.
I thought it was fun.
Like
Yeah,
it's fun, but I was like the whole time I'm like,
Yeah.
Chris Brown's in it. You know, it was kind of
Yeah.
weird.
So and I was reading the comments on it, and they're like, "Oh my God, Chris Brown, he's so hot, he's so talented." I'm like, do you not remember
Remember that time
when
he beat Rihanna's ass?
Like I would.
do you remember? Do you like? And like, I just don't understand. Like, I guess is it the power and the?
Well,
you know,
okay,
and
I will
the
tell you this. Back whenever the Boston massacre or the bombing happened,
Boston Massacre.
I know I
back in,
screwed
like,
that up.
17.
I know. Hold on. The Boston Tea Party. The Boston where the
give
two
me liberty or give me
where the
death.
two brothers blew up the race.
Oh yeah, the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
They put what's his name, like one of the killers, on the Rolling Stones issue. Everybody bought it.
What?
And like, yeah, there's an issue. Let me see if I can find it. It's Rolling Stones, and it has the picture. It like has his mugshot on there.
Why?
I don't know.
Is-
I
is-
think it
are
had to
they-
do in the issue. It had to do like they discussed it, but then a
But
lot of
Rolling Stones
girls were
really
like,
does
"Oh
that.
my God, he's so hot!" Like, and I'm just like,
Oh my.
he killed so many people.
Yes.
Why is this, our generation or whatever you? I looked at Nathan.
I know, it's like,
this is our
what we get.
generation. This
We
is
get
what we
this.
get. But it's just
I'm
like
offended.
it's ridiculous. But no, I totally agree with you. It's like, no, he beat a woman. Like the whole song in the verse, he's like, I wanna be Chris Brown, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be
know,
Chris Brown.
I know. Like,
I would I'd rather.
could you not get like? Could you
at
not
that,
get
man.
anyone else?
Yeah, no, that looks
That's
awful.
insane.
Like I'd rather be Drake.
I just pulled up a
Like-
picture of Rihanna.
I know,
Like,
I love to
or
be
like
Drake.
Kendrick Lamar. No,
Yes.
actually Donald Glover. I'd be Donald Glover.
Go for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't understand why.
Yeah.
Like, is it just like is
I'm
just
just-
his looks, his power? Because they even a few days ago or yesterday, I saw this picture on Facebook, and there he goes again. He looks like
Did
he was,
he
like,
hit somebody?
He's
Oh.
like choking out this girl, and then like this other girl, you see her trying to like pry his arms away. And she's like, and some people are
Chris
like, "Oh
Brown?
no, he's just playing." And I'm like, okay, you guys look up the pictures real quick.
No, I'm looking up that Rolling Stones thing
Okay.
real quick.
But yeah, like he's like
Yeah.
clearly just like choking her out.
Well,
and
I
she's
think-
like trying to get away.
When was it?
This was yesterday.
No. When did he beat up Rihanna? Like a couple of years ago?
Can't remember. I think 2013.
2013. Well,
Something like that.
I mean, I'm not justifying it with whatsoever, but it's like I think just people forget. People forget stuff all the time, and then we bring it up, and it's just like,
He went to
it's not
jail
that-
though.
I know.
He went to jail, and he did come back with the album that was good, but I'm
It's
not
called
supporting
Smackback.
it.
Is it called
Smackback.
like?
But
Yeah, not gonna lie, it looks kind of threatening.
yeah.
And they're just taking pictures.
Well,
Whoever that person took the picture.
It's
Like,
TMZ. It's TMZ. They always get the scoop.
well, maybe that's why he
TMZ
did
is
it though.
awful.
Well, okay, they are awful, but they're okay. From working in the news industry, they are good at what they do, but that's not
They're
a
great
good
at getting
thing.
the newest scoop.
Yeah, and that's not the best thing.
That was
What
the bomber.
fuck?
Yeah.
The fudge. Beep.
I'll read it. It says, the
Why are they
bomber.
making him
How
look
a
sexy,
popular,
though, is my
promising
question.
I know it's not even a
student killed his-
mugshot.
I think it was his mugshot, but it's not like
Everyone was like,
You
so
can't look
dreamy.
sexy in a mugshot.
because like they did it with O.J. Simpson. Like there was that big issue where they said that in the
Yeah,
Time
but that dude
magazine-
was guilty as hell.
No. What I'm saying is that in that magazine, that magazine, they tinted it a little bit more, and they were like, they're trying to make him more darker and make him more guilty. Never know, but that always happens,
And you bring up OJ,
No, I've
which,
heard.
and I was thinking, that's kind of the same thing because there's a lot of people that back him up like, oh, he
He's
didn't
out
do it,
now,
but
right?
he,
Well,
yeah, he's
here's-
out. But the thing is, I feel like we like to stick together.
It's
And-
kind of here's the thing. I like the Obamas. I don't have a problem with them.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real. One of the biggest reasons why he became president was because literally all of the black people voted for him. Literally.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
And it wasn't even because, like, maybe it was because they believed in what he was standing for, what he was talking about. But the biggest part was that we just want a black dude in. Like, that's not a good basis for wanting to choose someone for something. And just like if you have a super fan of something, you're going to support them no matter what. You're always going to give them the benefit of the doubt. You're always going to give them a second chance. It doesn't matter unless you have something extreme like all of these crazy like sexual assault cases that are going on in Hollywood. Like that's not.
especially. Oh my gosh,
I was really sad about Kevin Spacey.
I know, me
I was too.
But I heard he's in a movie. He's gonna be in a movie.
Yeah, it's
No,
it's an indie movie.
No.
It's an indie movie. It's like
But has he ever he never said anything about it? Like,
well, it's like how he says that
He
he's
said
not
that it was a
gay.
long time ago, and then
It was actually like before
I'm
he was
not a
even
gay
like.
fish.
it was way before he was.
But you like fish sticks. Do you like fish sticks? What? Well, yeah, I do. Yeah, Kevin Spacey. That's so sad. He was literally one of my favorite actors.
Apparently, that happened like way before he became like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
And then once he gave out that information, he also said that he was coming out as gay, right?
Yeah.
Am I-
And that kind of like overshadowed. Like
Yeah.
I think his PR people were like, use it. We've all known it, but just
But
use it.
but
at
here's
this
the
point.
thing, like
It overshadowed a lot of stuff.
right. But Kevin Spacey did come across as kind of gay.
Well, yeah, no, I totally get that. Yeah.
Not to pigeonhole Kevin Spacey. Sorry, Kevin, if you're listening. Like,
Hey, you want to be in our movie?
he's at home eating dinner, like, what the hell?
This movie,
It's
man?
me, Lord Megatron.
Oh my God, I would love to see him as Megatron. No, okay, so another one that really
Another one.
Another
Oh
one.
my God.
One that really
Yeah.
ruffles my feathers. Well, that sounds kind of
Grinds my gears.
Doesn't really grinds my gears. Is freaking Bryan Singer. You know his whole deal, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
He's-
heard about. I know that. Just refresh me. I can't remember.
Because he had a stepdaughter. She was 14.
I already don't like where that's going.
No, that's no.
And it,
You said 14?
yeah.
No, it's already bad. No,
And he
just
said-
stop.
I guess he was able to seduce her, and for one, she was adopted, but still,
Gross.
That doesn't really,
As someone who's been adopted twice, I don't like that.
yeah. And he's all and he was able to seduce her, and I guess they were able to get married. I don't know how. I don't know how. And
They're not okay.
but yeah, I mean, there's it's just like a big old conspiracy in Hollywood because there's a documentary about it on Netflix.
Well, it says that he's still married to Michelle Clooney or Salooney. Is that him?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the X-Men, Bryan Singer.
Yeah, he did all of them.
Yeah, and apparently he's messed around with little boys too.
Oh.
And he doesn't get in trouble for it. And if you're a big top shot Hollywood guy,
Well, I mean,
because that's what the whole
that's the whole issue right now.
yeah.
Well, it's
It-
just so
it- that-
weird because
and that's what the documentary brushes on. It's just there's all these high power Hollywood men that can just do whatever the hell they want,
right.
and it's just it's scary.
And actually, that actually goes further than just Hollywood. Actually, there's a really famous orchestra. It's called the Metropolitan Orchestra, the Metropolitan
heard of them.
Opera. They are world renowned, one of the best groups that puts on these huge operas. They have lots of money, huge budgets, and the main conductor, who did all of the symphony stuff for all those shows for years, since way before any of us were born, just recently got let go because they found out about all this stuff that he used to do with some of the young boys that he used to that were his kind of disciples, as they would call them. If for conducting, and he was teaching them, and they would do bad things like that, and they just found that. So it's not just Hollywood; it's in the music world too. But it's kind of crazy because it was like a domino effect. I don't know. I don't know if it started with Kevin Spacey or with someone else.
It started with
more like Bill Cosby,
It's
really.
no Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey
Oh, yeah.
Weinstein. That's what it was. Well, once Harvey Weinstein got outed, it was
everybody's
one
just,
after the other, and it was just, and it made me really sad, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because
I-
Kevin
I
Spacey's never
stayed-
gonna get his career back. He's never
Yeah,
gonna get.
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, he
If
might
Chris
be able
Brown
to.
can.
Yeah,
Well,
but that's a whole
Chris
different
Brown's
thing.
I feel because he's younger and all the girls are googly over him because that's what's holding him up is the girls mainly.
Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the girls hated him, he'd be wrecked by now.
Mm-hmm.
But with Kevin Spacey, him specifically because he was a brilliant actor.
Yeah.
Still is.
Man, I was like, okay, I was kind of excited when that happened because I was like, his masterclass has to go on sale probably.
Oh my.
So I went on there
looking for the deal.
I know, right? Hey, you gotta save money where you gotta save money. But I went on there and it's gone. They took him straight off, and I'm like,
Another person that they forgave was Roman Polanski.
who's that?
You never heard of Roman Polanski?
No.
Pretty famous one.
He's a really famous filmmaker. He got in trouble because he was having sex with little boys.
Oh,
And
no.
all of a sudden, people are just like, oh, it was a thing of the past. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal, actually. And even Quentin Tarantino was like, oh.
Don't bring Quentin though. He
it's
messed
the
up
truth.
too.
What
He's messed up too with that whole thing with Kill Bill.
Oh, when Uma Thurman got into that
Yeah.
wreck. Oh, yeah.
And then he
Well,
also
that was,
knew
okay,
about.
but my thing is that wasn't as bad as like he didn't like rape a kid. That was
Yeah,
still
but
bad,
there are
though.
also like other things. Like, wasn't there allegations with Uma Thurman and Weinstein, and like he knew about it or something? That's what I
don't know
read
about
somewhere.
What about
Like-
Uma Thurman? What?
You remember that story about?
No.
So
Okay.
there's a scene in Kill Bill.
Nah.
There's a
I
scene
won't
in
say
Kill
it.
Bill where a car gets like
Haven't seen
turned
the
over.
movie.
Okay, I haven't either, but I'm gonna talk about
It
it.
was a stunt there.
It was a stunt in a car, and
It
he was
wasn't
like,
a movie.
she didn't feel comfortable about it. She was like, I want to
And he
get the
insisted on
stunt
her
person.
doing
He
it.
was like, no, I want
Yeah.
you to be in the wind. I
Realism.
want to get it. I don't want a stunt person.
You know, he's known for doing that. so-
Yeah, but then she got like really injured, I think, or something like
Really
that.
injured,
and
yeah.
and then she kept asking for the reel after that had happened to like show, I guess, her lawyers or something, because I think she was gonna sue him.
Wow.
And
I don't think that
It
even
took
made
forever.
It to the movie.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
is it in the I've seen it though.
I mean, can you
I don't-
blame him for wanting to cut it out after that? You know?
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a lot of shady stuff
Yeah.
going on in Hollywood.
It just makes me sad because like all these going back to the whole Kevin Spacey thing, like brilliantly talented actor,
Yeah.
you know, done a lot of great movies, had a lot of amazing roles, and then one thing like this, like he'll be lucky if he's able to even make it into another A-list movie again.
Gosh, yeah, he's
Like all of that talent is
Uh,
is now kind of squandered. Which,
the day and age that we're living in now. I'll give him about 5 years.
yeah, sadly.
yeah,
I mean, I don't want to say like agree with
Just-
that,
yeah,
but
it's ridiculous.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not right, and it kind of like as a filmmaker, man, it just kind of makes me feel just I don't know.
Gross.
Yeah, it's just really it feels really bad because like that's not what the industry is.
yeah.
No.
But
Well,
that's-
sadly it is,
Right.
but
Well,
that's
and
what they're
then-
making it.
Well,
to be
and then it
anyways,
kind of
and-
puts all like other filmmakers in a box because I feel like it puts a bad taste in people's mouths about what a filmmaker should be.
right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know, people say, you know, when you're in school, why aren't we allowed to go on field trips anymore? Well, this one person did this one bad thing and it kind of ruined it for everybody. It's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
You know, this one person, in this case, starting with Harvey Weinstein, this one person got outed and it just started this huge domino effect that like just kind of ruined it for everybody. And so now like up and coming filmmakers and just filmmakers in general have to be
About that?
Oh, I heard briefly. a little
yeah,
bit
even
about
though
it,
it
but
was like not even
No, she was just being a butt, but
yeah.
you know, it's just like airing dirty laundry. She was like, oh, maybe
Right.
something will catch.
yeah,
But it still puts a bad light on him. Like if
Yeah.
whenever I'm talking about him, like people are like, oh, you watched, you know, Masters of None? You know, he did that thing. Yeah, I know he did it, but like that was a whole different thing. It's not.
Well, it's kind of like how people like will try. It's like they hop on the bandwagon to try to sue
Yeah.
somebody for money.
Right.
You know, just to try to get money out of them. It's like, from what I heard, I don't know if it's true at all, but one of Jim Carrey's ex-girlfriends was, I think she died from an accident.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
I know what you're
her,
talking about.
her parents, who were older than Jim, obviously,
Mhm.
they were like trying to say that like he did things to her to try to get money out of him because, you know, he's very wealthy,
Right.
which is just like,
Well, they did that with Michael Jackson too.
that's right.
Yeah.
And, you know, people were coming out of the woodwork just saying that,
And
he touched my kid.
Still,
or-
people think that.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is just like, people don't understand having something like that spread around about you, even if it's not true,
Stays.
doesn't go away.
Oh yeah, it still hurts.
A stain is a stain. So even if, like, let's say, you know, Kevin Spacey makes a comeback. Let's say it's
Yeah.
3 years from now. And he's doing A-list movies again. He's back on top where he was, you know,
Yeah.
just last year. Even if he makes it there.
House of Cards 2.
Right.
Oh,
Like-
yeah,
like-
they cancel that.
Like, House of Cards is ruined now. And that is an amazing show.
I love Claire.
It
She's
should-
awesome.
No, it's fantastic. And it's unfortunate because even if he makes a comeback, people are going to be like, oh, you see the new Kevin Spacey movie? You know what? No. And I just can't get over the whole thing he did like 3 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away, which is just, it's so sad that his career is just kind of tarnished
know.
like that.
Do you think that it's the same for comedians as well, like Louis?
Oh, are you kidding?
I don't know.
I mean, have you heard anything about him since that happened?
Well, also he's been just like super quiet. I would have stayed
But
super quiet at this
Here-
point.
Okay, so with movie stars, okay, like for
Hopefully
example,
not.
like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp used to trash hotel rooms. He was a horrible guy. I think Robert Downey Jr. had problems with that as well when they were younger, right? And they were still really famous back then.
Right.
You know, as they got older, you wise up a little bit. You still do all these famous movies. Their careers are still good.
Right.
But as a stand-up comedian, I mean, I'm not a stand-up comedian. I can't speak from experience. But I feel like because I don't want to say stand-up comedy is like a niche thing, but unless you're like one of the really famous, legendary stand-up comics,
You're not going to survive that.
Well, what would you put Louis C.K. under? Because I always think of
he's very famous and he's really funny and really good, but he's no Eddie Murphy or Chris Rocker or Jerry Seinfeld.
But okay, for example, think of
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Chappelle.
He would survive.
Well, no, he had that whole issue in his last stand-up thing. It was about transgender or something. Yeah, he made like a joke about that, and then he brought it back in, and
he had to explain himself.
But that's what I'm saying.
But also at the same time, like it's dicey because with people like Dave Chappelle,
he's always been risky though.
Well, that's the thing, and Louis has been that way as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the difference is that Dave Chappelle didn't actually do something like that, to our knowledge.
That's true. Yeah.
But like with Dave Chappelle, he even said like, if you come to my shows, you're gonna get offended.
Mm-hmm.
You came here.
Yeah.
Right.
You know this is what I do.
Right.
And he doesn't mean to be like an ass about it, but he's like, I'm Dave Chappelle. People know who I am. This is my brand of comedy. I make fun of everybody. I'm not just making fun of black people or white people or Asian people. My wife is Asian.
Yeah.
I'm making fun of everybody. I'm poking fun at things that are funny and things that people can laugh about. If I can make a joke about it, I'm going to use it. So if you get offended, that's on you. That's not on me. Right. You came to my show. You paid the money to be here. So don't get mad at things I say when you pay me money to say what I want to say.
Okay, I got it. Never mind.
I'm not being angry about it. I'm just saying, like, logically, it makes no sense. You can't get angry about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
don't do bad stuff.
Plus, because he had what was that situation that he had where he had to leave the country for a while?
Because he didn't leave. He
went to Africa.
That was different though. With this Chappelle show, he made a ton of money on that. Yeah. And I think like Comedy Central, I don't know if it was Comedy Central, but someone wanted to renew, and there was a lot of creative differences, and he didn't really want to do it anymore.
That's when.
And they offered him like a $50 million deal, and he turned it down. And everyone thought he was crazy, and they were like, Dave Chappelle's going insane, and there was all this stuff that's happening. The media and the studios, they hate him, like whatever. Yeah. So he just like packed up, went down to Djibouti, Africa, or something like that, and just hung out.
Yeah,
for a couple years.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then
that's a big baller move right there.
Yeah. And that was the birth of Key and Peele right there.
That joke that he had in one of his stand-up specials, where he's like,
it was the truth. I never realized it until then.
Yeah. Well, like I remember watching that. I was at my dorm at the time. Yeah, my freshman year of college when that came out, and his Netflix specials, which he got oddly enough $60 million for, a whole $10 million more.
He's not doing anymore. But Chris Rock has his. I haven't watched it yet.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle is just timelessly funny, I think.
Oh yeah. But you can go back and watch.
But no, he was saying how like as soon as I left, I was watching American stuff when I was over in Africa, and I had to watch Key and Peele do my show every night, and I was like, oh shit, he's right. Like that's literally his show.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I don't know. I don't know how Key and Peele feel about that, but
they probably don't care. They're getting money.
I mean, Jordan Peele, come on.
You know who I want to see have a TV show? Ron Funches. Have you guys ever heard of him?
I want Jim Gaffigan to have a TV show.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome too. Yeah, he was always on Sweet Life. Sweet Life with Zach and Cody.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He played the guy, that soup guy. He worked in the kitchen.
No. I thought he was the maintenance.
Oh, he might have been. I don't know.
He was something.
I just know that he wasn't in the actual hotel.
Yeah.
This is Ron Funches. He's funny.
I was watching some of Hannibal Buress.
Oh yeah, Buress.
Yeah, he has this one. He goes to like. No, he has that one where he goes to like I think it's like Ireland or somewhere, and he performs
Arwen?
at this.
I don't know.
About Arwen, the maintenance guy.
Oh, it was the maintenance guy? Okay.
No,
that's
him.
That's the white.
Emma
guy,
Stone was in.
What?
No. Yeah, she was Ivana Timpton.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That show.
Also, I'm not seeing him in here, so I think you guys lied to me.
Because I remember him.
I'll look it up.
Because
Hot Pocket.
It's like somehow I do. I like that one.
So I gotta bring up something that's really important.
Bonus fry. Sorry.
Yeah. That kind of happened this week, as of this time at least. So as we all know, that the teacher walkout is imminent.
My mom is a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And legislators have passed a bill saying they're going to give teachers a $6,000 raise, but we'd get like all these extra taxes like on cigarettes and
it would be nothing.
I don't buy cigarettes.
Well, it's just like a whole bunch of other stuff. So they were trying to pass that, but they thought the teachers would be all right with that.
They're
but
not.
No, because I had it wrong because I thought the teachers wanted a $6,000 raise, but it was a $10,000 raise that they wanted. So and which is totally fine.
I'm not gonna act like I know about it, but I was talking with my mom about it today because she's a teacher. She teaches 5th grade.
Yeah,
love you, Mom. But shout out to my mom. But apparently, like you said, they didn't get what they wanted, and there is a lot of, not a lot, but there was a good portion of money for education, and they spent it on other things.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what they're really mad about.
Yeah. And like I said that one time, they were able to find like $240 million
just unaccounted for. That was supposed to be
and then
for
they
education.
just spent it on renovations for themselves.
Stupid.
Yeah, and teachers, they deserve so much more. I was in Jinx because at my job or whatever, and they were I had to film some teachers like protesting like on the side of the roads, and they were getting so much support and all that. And I was talking to some of them. They're like, we love this state, and that's why we're fighting. We want to fight for these children because they're our future.
Right.
And
they wouldn't be doing what they were doing if they didn't really want to do it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just like if they can't get like a livable income, they can't keep doing it. And that's when our education system, that's where we're failing.
Yeah.
And
it almost like it's kind of ridiculous why we're even having this conversation.
I know.
Like, you just need to give it to them and then some.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like all these people who are in charge of this money and with legislation and stuff, how did you get to where you were?
Exactly.
Like you have all these doctors, lawyers, and all this crazy stuff. How did they get to be able to do their job? Through a huge, complicated series of lesson plans and teachers and people who are instructors and mentors and friends even. And like to shortchange those people who do all that hard work to get you where you want to be in life. Mm-hmm. Like you are really shooting yourself in the foot on that one. It's just ridiculous to not pay them,
chump change essentially.
Yeah, they don't get paid anything. Like my mom has been teaching for well over 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm sure she doesn't want to be there anymore, but she makes a sacrifice because she loves the kids that she teaches and she has to support her family. So it's like,
yes, and
you're hurting everybody.
Yeah, and they're honest to God doing the Lord's work.
They really are.
And it's just disrespectful as a state.
Yeah.
It's like we don't even care about our teachers. That's what our state's, acting like. And it's not right.
Especially with the fact that they're trying to there's so much pushback on whether or not they want to give the teachers what they want, which is really dumb.
Yeah. So this is gonna sound really selfish, but I was hoping that they'd reach a good deal, so I wouldn't have to do a 12-hour shift on Monday for this walkout. But it's all good though, man. Let's just hope that they reach a deal.
Movie Man Productions is rooting for you, teachers.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
That sounds sarcastic.
Wakanda forever.
To Chad forever.
To Chad. I always forget.
I wish I could find that picture.
Oh my God.
It was so here. So we were talking about Dark Phoenix being pushed back in the New Mutants. Okay, so I thought the New Mutants was going to be a TV show.
That was going to be on Hulu.
That's what I thought too. But apparently there's another show called The Runaways on Hulu.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that's what that... Oh, okay.
No,
so
the New Mutants is going to be like a horror film, but Marvel.
Okay, taking a different aspect.
Yeah, which I was which makes me kind of interested in it.
Yeah,
because it's different, but it's not like the good Marvel. It's like the Fox Marvel.
Oh, is it airing on Fox?
Yeah.
Oh, see, they have restrictions. That's not.
Yeah, for now, they're still. I think they're still trying to sign a deal
with Netflix.
No, Netflix with just Marvel.
Oh,
because that's why all those movies are being pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find to Chad. It just here it is. Here's to Chad. Here's to Chad. This is it. Beer monger.
Ridiculous.
Good old to Chad.
Okay.
Huh. Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah, teachers, we're rooting for you.
With to Chad.
To Chad by our side and beer monger, we could accomplish anything. And Starscream.
No.
Okay.
So one of the things that I've been thinking about lately is
Bears.
Yes.
Bears.
And how I can
Bears
defeat them.
Beats Battlestar Galactica.
Bears. What kind of bear is the best?
No.
False.
Oh my gosh.
False.
That scared me.
Dwight K. Schrute.
Dunder Mifflin, assistant to the regional manager.
I was going to ask you guys, what is a good director?
You already asked us this.
I did?
Stream.
When?
Yeah,
off screen.
I'm just
screen.
playing. I'm just playing.
You mean Starscream?
Did he just say my boy?
He just like comes in.
Yo, I wish anybody listening to this, I wish you could have seen Anthony's face just now. He lit up like he was so happy.
Oh my gosh.
I can't even do it. We need to have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
No, we don't. Oh my gosh, are you
Man,
He would tear. Oh, are you
high top thing.
Looking like Gerald from Hey Arnold.
Even think about that. You ever notice how Gerald had like an extra head because like you saw his high top face,
But then you saw like the little.
yeah, that always kind of made me like suspicious about him.
God.
Everyone had weird heads on that show. The Weird Head show.
Hey Arnold, more than
I thought that show.
My dad always liked Mr. Kakashki, or what was his name? Kakashka.
Kakashi Sensei.
No,
Believe it.
because he was always he died laughing every time he was like, Susie, make me a sandwich. And like
Oh, I remember.
he would die, and then he started saying that at home, and I'm like, shut up.
Was it the God? Nathan.
I know he's over it. For
I forgot
viewers,
what I
Nathan's in
even
the corner
said.
just crying, his eyes up, while laughing.
Oh my God.
What did I even say? I forgot. Oh, believe it.
Jeez.
I believe
I
it.
forgot all about that. It
What
was
about
like,
Naruto?
no, but the fact that he says believe it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good.
What do you?
We
So
having a
what?
good
When you
time.
asked that question, Ethan? Sorry, got off.
Wait,
Which
what
one?
was the question? Because he didn't finish
What's
it.
a good director? What
Oh.
like?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Guess
What
you
do you
did
mean
finish
when
it.
you say director? Like just as a
Well,
general
I was gonna
sense, or-
actually give you guys the reason why I brought this up, because a couple of days ago I've been looking at certain directors, and one of them was Tatiti Wasali, or the guy that did Ragnarok,
Oh, Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Thank you. And he's like really positive. Like I watched
Right.
the behind the scenes for it, and I was
He's
like,
a Kiwi.
yeah, he's from Australia or New Zealand.
New Zealand.
And he's very positive. It looks like he's fun on
Yeah.
that set.
He did the voice of Korg.
Yeah. See, you
I'm
knew it.
Korg.
Okay. Have you seen Hunt for the Wilder People?
No.
You will absolutely love that movie. I
Is
put
it just him going, hi,
no.
I'm cool?
He's in that movie. He plays a preacher. I'll
Lord.
show you I'll show it to you later. But
Nice background, bro.
it's the same background.
I forgot you had my. I'm honored.
Like I was looking at other directors as well, and I was like, half of these directors, like Michael Bay, James Cameron,
Would never do anything like that.
no, yeah, but they're also
I'm
just
cool.
very disrespectful. Yeah, to their
Like
actors.
difficult to
and-
work with and
yeah,
stuff?
and very difficult to work with. But the thing is, they get their stuff done. And the
Yeah.
question that I was gonna be pulling up or like asking is, do you have to be a dick to be a great director or a good one at that? I mean, those are kind of the same thing. Because if you think about it, Ridley Scott, he's a well-known person. He did Aliens, Blade Runner,
Right.
all these.
Never heard of it.
Aliens
Or-
don't exist.
Or even,
idiot.
or like even like
Believe it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
like David Fincher.
Right.
And actually, I was gonna bring up Quentin Tarantino.
He's known for being kind of an
Kind of a-
off-putting
Yeah.
guy.
He's kind of awful. And actually, I was gonna bring up the Uma Thurman thing earlier with this scenario. But the thing is, people still work with them. Michael Bay is notorious for knowing like that he's an awful director to
Yeah.
work for.
Just a bunch
People
of
hate him
explosions.
so much. So I was like, all these people are so successful, and yet they treat their people like crap. How is that possible? And I think it goes into kind of what,
It's. I feel like it's the name because Quentin Tarantino has like this. I'll use him as an example.
Yeah.
It's like this distinct style, and I heard that a lot of actors and actresses they think it's like an honor to be in one of his films.
Right.
And even though he will
Unless you're
treat
Sam
you
Jackson,
like-
you've been in every single one.
yeah. But I think the whole thing about Quentin Tarantino is like he's weird, you know. He's really squirrely. But I think that's just how his mind works. And I feel like I'm not gonna say he's not mean or anything
Yeah.
on set, but I think it's just like how his mind works, kind of
Right.
like puts out that.
Well, I think there's a difference between.
but-
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, go on.
All right. Starscream. When did you get here? Oh, that was good actually.
Thank you.
That was weird.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a difference between like being really.
I had to watch a lot of Michael Bay. That's why I was really good.
There's a difference between having a lot of intent and then being an asshole.
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't know if it's in the same in like the film industry, but with music, the people who are hardest to deal with are the people who are more self-righteous than anything else,
Right.
who think they're like God's gift to music or God's gift to, in this case, filmmaking.
Right.
As opposed to someone who is just very direct and knows what they want.
Right.
You know, like I can know what I want and then be like, yo, Ethan, what the fuck? Like, oh, excuse me, beep. And, you know, and just like be a dick to you.
Right.
But if I'm just like, you know, I don't really want that. I really want something more like this. That's just me being direct,
Right.
not being an asshole.
Right, but I feel like there's an instance like for example, and this doesn't even like pertain to directing, but in leadership, I've had multiple teachers or instructors for jazz or what have you, and personally, some of them were just like they were more direct and kind of like we need to get this down.
This is okay. So this is okay. So in the education world,
Right.
that's what they call the student-teacher barrier.
Right.
Yeah.
And they talk about never breaking that barrier because once you do, you can't get it back. So basically, the method behind that is, you know, and that goes for college professors as well. You know, if you are stern with your students, and you know, like okay, in this case, in a movie set, right?
Yeah.
The director is the boss,
Exactly.
right? So if Anthony is the director of this movie, and I'm walking in, and yeah, I'm his friend, but if we're like all buddy, and we're all good, he's gonna get walked all over.
Oh no, I totally understand
and that can't happen. And so if he breaks that like director actor barrier, then like he's gonna be like a welcome mat for everybody. People are just gonna walk all over him and do whatever they want, and there's not gonna be any discipline.
No, I'm not taking away from any of that. I agree with you completely.
Right.
But there is a limit. And it seems that these people are breaking this limit.
Right. Well, that's where like the give and take is, because some people, because they're aware of that student-teacher barrier, they go overboard, and then it's like almost excessive force where they're like overly pushy and overly kind of rude.
Right.
And even though it's not intended to be that way.
Right.
It comes across that way.
Right.
Okay.
But like,
So
I don't know if that kind of like
I mean, it does
sheds light on that, but
I understand that.
Okay, so another way I kind of see. Stop that! Just put your arm down. Okay. No. But,
Decision. Yeah.
No, but the way
Megatron.
God damn it, stop. Okay. But like the way. Okay. Sam Witwicky. Oh my god. There's so much product placement in those movies. Like the freaking Mountain Dew vending machine that comes to life and shoots out the Mountain Dew.
It's like it just reminded me of that Stephen King movie. Did you ever see that Stephen King movie where like everything comes alive? And no. It's like just things and objects come alive, and like there's this one part where a guy, he's at a baseball place or like where they play baseball.
He's at a baseball
He's
place.
playing sports ball. I don't know.
He's at a for like a
Believe it. He's like, oh my gosh. It's like there's this little smoke bomb down on the stage. Him and his whole crew just like he even runs like
dude, I'm not gonna lie. I used to run like that.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I'm sorry.
I don't even
going
know.
off track. But the way, from my experience from doing my directing, well, I'm not even gonna say from my experience, but I know that in film,
Why are you laughing?
It's funny. I'm sorry.
there's a lot of the biggest part about filming is planning.
Yeah.
I'd say.
And having like a tight schedule and stuff.
Yeah. And if you're too busy playing around, because I mean, I've been playing around with my films, you lose that time. You lose some of that precious time, and you're sometimes you're filming with your friends and all that, and you're just joking around, having fun, which is fine.
Right.
But you have to remember, I mean, you got to schedule, especially if your actors have like all these weird different schedules, then you don't know when you'll be able to meet again. So you got to meet your deadline, and that means you got to be a little bit more stern. You know, you got to like put your foot down, be like, okay, we got to stop playing. Let's get these, runs done.
And actually, if you go back and look at like deleted scenes or like blooper reels of things, and actually, I remember one. I know it's not like big like Hollywood movie, but there was one for an amazing TV show called Psych, and they were clowning around, and in one of the like bloopers, you know, the two main characters, James Roday and Dule Hill, Sean and Gus, they were like clowning around, like making a joke and like being really stupid. And the director in the background's like, "Stop laughing, let's go." You know, he's getting mad. You know,
is that Mauricio in there?
yeah.
Is that Mauricio? Okay, sorry. I just watched that episode like a couple of days ago.
It's a good one. No, but you gotta stop.
Yeah, you really do. But like, okay, I totally understand that.
Right.
I totally get it. But like, for example, I did some research, and whenever David Fincher did Zodiac, two of the things, right?
God,
it's a great movie. And the thing is,
I love how it has a realistic. Well, it's based on true story.
yeah,
I was gonna say it has a realistic ending,
but if you think about it, all of those people, super professional. You got Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal, all these people. So you know
Mark
that they're
Ruffalo.
not,
What a great movie.
they're not down to clown like just like, you know, shoot the breeze. Yeah. These people are there to work.
Right.
Okay. But whenever this comes up, and this did come up on that set, is that David Fincher did not let them rarely get breaks. And as a protest, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Robert Downey Jr. peed in like mason cups and just put them around the place because they never got time to actually have that time off. And then also
that's important though. To have
I know
time off.
exactly. Yeah. So. And that's where I'm kind of
obviously
going
that's like past the line,
right? But a lot of these directors do that. Like for example, the guy that did Patriots Day, he's a real big dick. That's all I'm gonna say. No, but the thing is, like, he gets his stuff done, but to what extent does that need to actually happen? Like, because you can have fun and or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. To answer your question, I think we can all agree. Like, no, you don't have to be a dick to be a great director, and like a successful one, a very successful one. But it's so easy to go kind of like power mad and go like over the line. Yeah. And it's so important because these people are professional actors. It is work. It's a job, and it's hard. It's hard to deliver things in a realistic way that people just run on a page. You know, it's not easy work. Yeah. So having that time and making sure you give the actors the break and the treatment that they deserve while maintaining that level of respect that you deserve is, I think, the key. But no, it's not impossible to keep to
I could see that.
Be a nice guy.
And also, I think it's how, and I don't think all directors have to be stern sometimes. I guess it all depends on your crew.
Taika Waititi wasn't really.
Yeah, but also I think that's he made an environment that was like, I want to work with this person.
That's what I was going to get onto. It depends on the environment that you make around you.
Like
I was watching Spike Jonze behind the scenes on his video that he did, the Apple one, and I saw him doing all the choreography and having fun, you know, just kind of showing, you know, the dancer, like, this is what you should be doing because he can't dance.
Exactly.
Really. Which, did you know that Spike Jonze helped create Jackass?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that until just now. Anyways.
Yeah, when I looked him up last week, I was like, oh, he did like all of them.
Yeah.
He's got a list.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's just the environment that you make around you, and I think it comes off of your character.
Mm-hmm. So the other question that I have is, what are some of the attributes? Excuse me, attributes. What are some of the attributes that a director should have? For me, I said being detail oriented, which I mean
that's a big one.
By that, just being like, okay, this is my vision. This is what I need you to be, and being open for. Oh damn it! You took mine. Sorry.
It's all good.
For collaboration and interpretation.
Okay.
I think being able to assess problems and troubleshoot is also a big one.
Oh, yeah.
In the music world, it's really imperative to.
You're running out. No, I'm kidding.
I am.
In the music world, it's really imperative to be able to, when you're working with a big ensemble or even just a group, if you're the music director or just like the conductor or whatever, you need to be able to pinpoint where things are going wrong and what they can do to fix it. Like, oh, you're playing it more like this. I need you to play it with more feeling in this kind of sense and make it more like this and fit inside of this sound or whatever. Mm-hmm. And translating that to a film standpoint, that'd be like, you know, your delivery was good, but think of it like this. You know, this just happened, all this stuff, and being able to really help the actor get into that place where the lines need to be delivered from and be able to troubleshoot like that.
Yeah.
And really help the scenes really come to life and jump off of the page where they were written. That's really important, and it makes huge differences in the way people play their roles, and it can really make or break the movie. Really.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I have three. Well, actually two because I forgot one of them. Okay, no, one because I forgot that one too. No, but okay. So one of them is trust. And kind of what you said earlier, you need to kind of be. I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand with just being open to changes, because like you only have these two eyes, but your crew has like eyes all around the whole set. So if I have my cinematographer come up to me and be like, hey, the shot that you have set is cool and all, but I think it would look better if maybe I mix it up, maybe like do like a sliding shot or something. And then and also
get help from others.
Yeah, right. And also this is something I kind of struggle with. I'm not gonna lie. You have to have tough skin, because let's say if that suggestion was better, you can't just be like, oh no, I don't want to go with. You can't just like kind of blow it off because you feel bad,
right?
Because you have to realize. You all work together. You're a team, right? Yeah, exactly. And the one
copyright.
And the one I just remembered is planning. Because there's been so many times where I wasted like a whole day, and I didn't really get as much done as I wanted. So you got to make sure you plan everything out, and storyboarding, going over the script with your team and all that, especially storyboarding, that will save you a ton of time. All things will be really suggestive for really good stuff, really good qualities for a director.
Yeah.
Starscream!
Whenever there's dead space, Starscream shows up.
Right.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny if there's just dead space and then all of a sudden, like, you hear the jet sounds.
Yeah.
Where's the old Spock? Bumblebee!
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so question for you guys. Okay, so
Black Bear.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Dang it, you beat me to it. Battlestar Galactica.
Okay. So, what qualities would make a bad director? Kind of doing the whole switcheroo.
Other than being like overly and unnecessarily forceful, I think I can only imagine if I was an actor.
I can only imagine.
I could only envision that if I was an actor and I have a very busy schedule, I got a family, and yeah, I'm super famous and rich and stuff, but
I got a smoking hot wife, I got this car.
Bugatti I'm riding.
But
Space Bugatti.
But here's the thing, actors sacrifice their time, even though that is their job. A lot of like those A-list actors are very busy people.
Yeah.
They have like a whole team of people who help plan their everyday, which is like kind of intense and it's hard work. So you really don't like to have your time wasted.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like if I was put in that kind of position and I went in, and even if the director is like a nice guy, and like he's clearly unorganized.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Don't worry about it.
You're just gonna be in the corner the whole time.
Can you at least tell me what you're laughing at?
Just the whole Space Bugatti thing cracked me up.
Bugatti.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go on, I'm so sorry.
No, but I take my time to come out and be part of this project. If I showed up on set, if the director is clearly unprepared, and he kind of like doesn't really have a clear idea of what he wants, and is kind of just like, like, oh, so what do you want from this kind of scene? What are we going for here? I don't know, man. Just kind of work with what you got, and no one wants to work with someone like that. Yeah. You need to have clear goals and have a clear schedule, because then you just don't get anything done. And you waste money and time, and there's one thing you don't want to do is waste a big studio's money.
Exactly.
Because they will, like, rip you to shreds for that kind of stuff. So I feel like, really, those two main things would just be really, really bad to have as a director.
Also, if you're a pushover.
Oh,
Don't be a pushover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because, I'm not, god dang it, I can't say it, never mind.
Why not?
Because that's doing my job. Yeah, don't be a pushover, because you don't want someone else directing your film. You don't want to have your vision be morphed into someone else's.
But also, I feel like in that sense, you also need to make it clear what it is. Like, for example, there was this one podcast that I was listening to called No Film School, and they were interviewing some actors, and there was this one lady, she gave this analogy, or not analogy, but example, where she was doing a scene and he wasn't letting her get even through it. He was like, I want it to be like this, like say these individual lines and then just walk out. But the way that she was trying to do it didn't make sense in the scene, which is what she's trying to do, which was his thing. So then she tries to do it herself. They're there for at least 9 hours. Yeah, 9 hours. And one person just goes, let her get through the whole thing. Like, just, they got super mad. Mm-hmm. So then she got through the whole thing. He was like, yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, everybody off for today. That blows my mind. You need to, if you're going into a play or into anything, you need to have it out there. Also, just be willing to be collaborative.
Well, I mean, that goes
because
right
you
back
might
into,
not find something that
right. I mean, that goes right back into what Anthony said earlier. Like, you need to be able to. There's nothing wrung with admitting that someone else's idea is better than yours. That's not going to be like, oh, well, that guy had a great idea. He's the director now. Like, that's not going to happen. Yeah. You know, I mean, you should be confident in your directorial skills to be able to pull from somebody. Like you said, everyone's on the same team.
Exactly.
You know, if someone else has a great idea for a better shot, or maybe like different blocking for a scene, or something that might work a little bit better, and it genuinely does make things go smoother and is better, who cares? Like, it's making the movie better and you're making yourself more money. Like, who why are you you know, don't be so arrogant that you're unwilling to take people's ideas just because they're not yours.
Don't limit your creativity.
Yeah, and your movie is your vision, it's your story that you're trying to tell to the audience, and you want to make it look as good as possible. I mean, and if that means, you know, taking ideas from, you know, your crew members, then definitely take
or even sometimes the studio if it's a good idea, because I know like directors in studios sometimes butt heads,
right?
Oftentimes butt heads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like also kind of like what I said earlier. I mean, you have two eyes, but I mean your crew has eyes all around the set.
Yeah. So
yeah, you'll never know. Boom, drops the mic, then picks it up because I gotta keep doing the podcast. But yeah, Starscream. So, do you guys have any favorite like filmmakers or directors? Actually, just directors.
I know it's like really stereotypical.
You were gonna say Wes Anderson, aren't you?
No,
No?
I'm not a huge fan of Wes Anderson.
Okay.
I could see that. He's
Well,
not really
honestly,
for
I
everyone.
wasn't gonna say Spielberg,
Oh.
but yes, him obviously. Just, you know, his movies are just so legendary and he's amazing.
True.
Not this
Yeah,
time. But I actually was gonna say Tarantino, because I think his style is just so different. And even though he is a little unorthodox and he's kind of crazy, his movies are just so enjoyable and they're very rewatchable.
It's just he's just so good with dialogue. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, there is one scene, and it was the whole beginning scene in Inglourious Basterds. That wasn't as good as his other stuff, but
Is that with the house that's on the prairie? And,
yeah,
And when Hans Landa shows up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Dude, Christoph Waltz, what a great actor.
he is. What?
My family thinks that my dad looks like Christoph Waltz.
No. Well,
There's
no.
it's
Have you seen the
Orlando, Chris.
Have you guys seen?
but I think it's a certain movie. I think it's Blue Eyes
Okay.
that he kind of looks like my dad. So I was like,
Put your hands down.
Have you guys seen the SNL skit of someone doing I just forgot his name.
all right, moving on.
Okay, cool.
Oh my God.
So Ethan, what's your favorite?
Oh, we're actually going through. Okay.
All right, fuck me.
I think my
Fuck me.
Megatron.
Megatron. Oh, God.
we're gonna try to do like the morphin thing. That was good. Yeah, it was. It needed to be louder, but I would have to say my three favorite are Wes Anderson.
Whoa, buddy. We only said one.
What? We're doing one?
Yeah, buddy.
No.
One.
What?
You get one.
Oh, dang, come back to me then.
JK, you can choose. You can do three.
Okay. Wes Anderson.
JK about the
Oh
JK.
my gosh.
No, it was
Also, your favorite director has to be J.K. Rowling.
Is she even a director?
JK.
She's the one that came up with Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen any of the Harry Potters.
Me either.
So,
What?
yeah. Anyway, so
Y'all are
we're-
crazy.
didn't she also come up with Fantastic Beast or
Yeah.
yeah?
That's a prequel to Harry Potter.
Fantastic.
Oh, I didn't know that. But Wes Anderson, Edgar Wright, and then this other guy
Naruto.
named Seth Worley. Why are you laughing?
Why's my alarm going off? You didn't hear me?
No, I heard it. Yeah, I know it's in the mic. He's crying.
It's funny.
I don't even know what happened.
Oh my god.
Listen, it's 1 a.m. I'm very tired. I need to go to sleep, but damn, that was Wes Anderson, Naruto. So subtle. Oh god.
I don't believe it.
So my
Fuck.
my favorite directors are Wes Anderson, Edgar Wright, and
I love Edgar Wright.
Anthony
Seth
Frazier.
Worley. Yeah.
So what does Seth Worley do?
Seth Worley, he does some indie film type stuff.
Like what?
There's this movie called Real Gone. It's a short film, and it's about a guy that's trying to. What happens is there's a fire or there's a car crash at the very beginning. It's a very short film. It's like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
He gets in an accident. He's sent to this place like of nirvana or like heaven, assumably. And so what happens is they revive him, and he's like, well, what happened? I was in like nirvana or like whatever, or in heaven or in his peace and tranquility. And so he's like, I'm going to try to get back there. So then he starts trying to kill himself multiple times and not succeeding. I showed it to you.
Yeah.
To the class one time at Tech.
I've seen it. Well, I know I was at my desk one day when I seen it. Yeah, you probably did show it to me.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
And so I just love that creativity that director brings up.
So that was the Film Right guy.
No. So he was showing it on their show, but Seth Worley is like part of like Red Giant.
Okay.
They do a different stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, but going to like Edgar Wright and Wes Anderson, both of them are just, in my opinion, just fantastic storytellers. Especially like my favorite out of the Cornell trilogy, I would have to say that The World's End is the best out of all three of those, and also, in my opinion, the best ending for a trilogy. Because it brings everything into it, not only humor, but also this like deepened sorrow. If you go and look at any of the script and how it's written, you can tell from all the characters, like all of them have issues, but then they intertwine with each other and everything. And it's just, it's amazing. But those would be my three. What about you?
And no, you don't get to say Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Nope. Beep.
Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith. You just like cut me out every time I say it.
My favorite directors are Starscream.
Starscream, Skeletor, and Bane.
You forgot Watto.
Watto, he's
No.
no, okay, but for real though, I think Kevin Smith for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I'll get to that in a minute.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. And then I was telling you guys about this movie a while ago, a few podcasts ago. It's called Finding Fellini. It's a very, very good movie. And the director was Taryn Lexington. I had to look it up. So she's up there, which I found out that movie was based off of Bart Simpson's voice actor, which you guys should definitely check the movie out.
Like Simpsons, as in like.
Yeah, the voice actor.
Okay.
And then Ryan Coogler, I'd say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Black Panther was so good.
Was that his first film?
No. Fruitvale
He did,
Station.
yeah,
was.
Fruitvale
And Creed?
He did Creed.
He did Creed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fruitvale
okay.
Station, Creed, and then Black Panther.
Okay.
Man, for only a third movie.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith, I say that only because I feel like he really has the spirit of filmmaking, because he makes films that he wants to see. He doesn't really like try to appeal to everyone else. And a lot of people say that his films are bad, but I love them only because like I know why they're made. And he always has all of his friends on, like from like all the podcasts he does and from his shows, and you can just tell they're just having a good time. You know, they're always really stupid. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what filmmaking is, just
having fun.
telling your story.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you go listen to any of his podcasts and stuff from like the Smodco and anything like that, like he just has a genuine love for all things film.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, like, I mean, I religiously listen to Fat Man on Batman with him and Mark Bernardin.
Yes.
And Mark Bernardin is, in his own right, just a genius.
Oh, yeah.
He's so smart. But when you hear those guys talk about film, they could just go on for hours and hours about it.
Yeah.
It's like they have to force themselves to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just with, especially with Kevin Smith, one thing I really like about him is it's not just like, oh, yeah, it was a good movie.
Sorry.
So mad. But it's also like he talks about all the aspects of it.
Yeah.
And not just from a director standpoint, but from like a audience standpoint as well, which is just awesome. And honestly, he's just kind of like a very energetic, kind of infectious.
Yeah, and I remember like a few years ago or last year, I can't remember. I went to go see Yoga Hosers at Cinemark, and
They put it in theaters?
yeah, it's like for a day, and they had the special thing to where like they had a stream of him talking to an audience. You know, he's just telling about the film and all that, and that just that made it for me.
Did he do Tusk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but
Yeah, because that's kind of it's kind of a sequel to Tusk, but not really.
okay.
Because it's just like two totally different characters. 'Cause it stars his daughter and then Johnny Depp's daughter.
And Johnny Depp's in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the movie.
Oh, okay. In Tusk or wait,
Both.
another one.
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Kevin Smith's definitely one of my favorite. This Taryn Lexington girl. Gosh, this is the only movie I watched by her, to be honest. But this movie just blew me away. Visually stunning. The story was just so vivid, and especially the characters. The main character was great. Her acting was fantastic. But the character development for her, because her thing is like she was sheltered all her life because her mother, she like knew the evils of the world. So she goes out. It's not really a spoiler alert, but her mother's dying. So she's like, well, I'm going to go to Italy and find Federico Fellini. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. He's a famous Italian filmmaker. So that's her whole thing. She's just discovering herself in this foreign world, and she doesn't know anyone there. She's completely alone. She sees all these crazy things that she would have never have seen around her house or her home. So yeah, and I just thought it was just a great film, and I want to find some more movies that she's done, so I can.
You know who else I really want to see more from in the future is Patty Jenkins. Patty Jenkins is the director of Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And I thought she did a really, really good job. And she's just, I don't know. And like Taryn Lexington.
Yeah.
Like there seems to be a really big uprise lately of fantastic women directors, which is always a great thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I actually saw an article about that today. Yeah. And then lastly.
Actually, Jessica Jones on Netflix, every single episode will be directed by a woman.
The new season?
Yeah.
Nice.
Every single episode.
I haven't watched the new season yet. I might check it out.
I haven't either.
Oh, is it out?
I didn't watch the first one because I don't really like Jessica Jones.
I don't either, but this was not a bad. It's better than Iron Fist. I'll say that.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Gosh,
they really missed.
They really
the
screwed
target.
the pooch. they screwed the pooch and had little hybrid babies.
Believe it.
No, but and then lastly is Ryan Coogler, only because like he's like the only filmmaker that has ever like made a movie that like movies actually all of his movies they just like kind of hit me emotionally, and that's really hard for me to find in a movie because I'm not really like I don't feel myself getting emotionally attached a lot to films, but
unlike Kevin Smith who claims he cries at everything all the time.
He did that one. He had a video where he was crying to the ending of
The Flash.
The first season.
I saw that. It was so funny.
Yeah, I know this kind of like going off topic a little bit, but unpopular opinion,
I really like The Flash.
No, well, I love Suicide Squad.
Really?
I actually really like that movie.
Oh my gosh! Here he goes.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing.
Is your nose acting up again?
No, yours is though. I'm gonna bring allergy medicine the next time.
All right.
Leaving.
You're just two black guys.
Two black guys. I'm gonna steal these headphones. It's gonna be a lot of noise. Sorry about that, everybody.
So,
to be honest with you, I actually really, I understand all the faults that they had with it, but at the same time, I really didn't. It could have been better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The execution wasn't all that great, but I didn't really enjoy the movie.
Yeah, and the story was kind of iffy, but it was a fun movie. That was the thing.
It was a fun movie
because Batman vs Superman came out, and I was like, gross. This movie's not that good. And then
it came out, and the first thing he said was, gross.
Ew, icky. But after seeing that a few more times, it got a little better. But then Suicide Squad came. It was more lighthearted. Then that's what DC kind of needed, was more of a lighthearted movie. And I feel they kind of offered that. It wasn't too lighthearted at all because it has dark moments.
Weren't there like a lot of plot holes in it? I can't remember. It was.
But yeah, so
remember that.
They could have gone with a better plot for sure.
Yeah,
they added all that lighthearted stuff, which made it better. You know, it was easier to watch.
Yeah.
And
well, if they could do every movie similar, well, Wonder Woman could have some things that were better about it as well. But Wonder Woman to date has been the best DC movie, bar none. Yeah. And if they did the rest of the movies closer into like what that was, they would have so much more success.
Well, do you think not only the hype around it because it was a successful woman comic book movie.
That
Do you
definitely
think that would? Like, yeah, because I'm like,
especially the time
I think
that we're in right
I think
now.
it was good, but I think that kind of pushed it to
Overshadowed
be it like amazing.
Right. Even if you took away the fact that the lead role was brilliantly played by Gal Gadot, even then the movie is still really well done. So, I mean, like I agree. I totally agree with what you just said, though. Like without that push of, I don't want to say feministic because I feel like that's maybe too strong of a word.
Yeah.
But having a feminine lead role being as big of a deal in a superhero movie as that is, that definitely pushed it forward.
Yeah. And I liked how it wasn't like forced.
What?
I forgot that I had those on.
Yeah, you can keep them on.
No, you're good, dude. Go ahead.
I liked how it was like the movie wasn't forced. Like, oh yeah,
I'm a woman and I'm a badass.
Yeah, rub it in your face. Yeah. See, yeah, and I love that. 'Cause it was really
I got my rusty cuffs. Yeah.
Oh my, no. But
my rusty cuffs.
Aren't they called rusty cuffs? Or
no,
there's that.
No, rusty cuffs is like a little line of.
They're like
bracelets.
they're like gauntlets or something. I don't know.
I know. Okay.
Starscream. But
Wonder Scream.
God, get out. Man, I was going somewhere with that. Fuck, I forgot. Anyways, yeah, Wonder Woman was cool. But no, okay, Suicide Squad. Oh no, Wonder Woman. Okay, back to that because I remembered now. Shut up, Ethan. But
Ethan just hates Suicide Squad.
no, but the thing with what's
You
it called?
hate art.
You call that art?
The thing with Wonder Woman, I didn't like the villain. I didn't like how Ares was the villain at the end and how I feel like he didn't have a.
You
big
didn't like
role
Professor
in it.
Lupin? What's wrong with you, dude? Oh, you haven't seen the movies. Never mind. Lost joke. Like you didn't like how the villain was portrayed, or
Yeah, because I'm sitting here trying to remember the movie because I always forget movies after I watch them.
Yeah.
But I just remembered I didn't like him as a villain. It's just
It
like
was
because he kind of came out of nowhere at the end. It was that type of deal, and he was like
they didn't set
one
that
and
up
done.
at all.
No.
Well, to my knowledge, anyway. Because I mean, I totally get that. Because like you kept seeing his character throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But then at the very end, he just like formulated all this amazing armor and was like,
Yeah.
"I'm Ares."
Yeah.
Yes, like it was still like they could have set that up better.
Yeah. But back to Suicide Squad, I enjoyed it only because it was just fun. It wasn't a great movie, but it was just fun. It was different from DC, colorful. It felt like I was watching like a Hot Topic original.
But with Will Smith for some reason.
Yeah.
I forgot he was in it. Yeah, he was Deadshot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Affleck also.
I'm not really a big fan of Harley Quinn, but I actually liked her in that film. Because the only reason I don't like her is the whole thing when I didn't like Deadpool is because people overhype characters so much. It's to where it makes you just like...
Harley Quinn is
stay away
amazing,
from it.
but she's not like, oh my God, Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's not like that. Although Margot Robbie did a really great job of playing that character.
What was his name? The guy who created Harley Quinn.
Actually, Harley Quinn was made out of the animated series.
Yeah. What was his name?
Bruce Timm.
No, not Bruce Timm. Wasn't Bruce Timm.
Tim Bruce?
Jeff Johns.
Out.
Already did.
No, not Jeff Johns. It was Paul.
Paul Dini.
Paul Dini. Yeah.
Paul Dini.
Yeah. I
The
usually
guy who created Harley Quinn. Something about overhyping.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna stop
I,
talking.
Tanya.
I think I'm done for the day. I'm losing steam. Well, guys, this was Can someone end this for me?
Yep.
Ethan's got it.
Thank you for listening to Movie Man Talks. I think we're gonna end it now.
Starscream
With
Watto.
No, you won't end it.
but thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Movie Man Talks. If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing to our channel at Movie Man Productions, or like our Facebook page at